Welcome to the Bob and Tam Show. Guys, this is delayed, so we'll say it again in a minute. Welcome to the Bob and Tam Show today.
We're on repeat.
Yeah. So let's see if we're up and going. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Woo, woo, woo.
We don't have anybody on, it doesn't say. It's too early.
Well, it depends on where you're at.
All right.
So we are live. And wait for a few
Well,
more
since
people.
Roy's on, it says
Yeah.
bring some chips.
Don't have any chips. You bring yours.
Yeah.
So wait for everybody to come online. Where are we at today? We're at we're in Las Vegas.
Yes, we are.
There we go. I got half of it right. What dealership we at?
We're at Red Rock dealership.
Yep, Red Rock Harley-Davidson out here off of the Rainbow exit and I guess the road is right in front of us is Rainbow and Sierra. This is a big dealership. I forgot to ask how big it is, but we're actually going to be doing a video in probably about a week from now. We got some great stuff lined up. I'll tell you one we'll do is we're going to have two mechanics going to be talking to us real soon about some really neat stuff that I think you guys will be excited about. Harley mechanics, that is. And then we've also got the GM here is going to give us a grand tour of this establishment. This is super big. It's not their newest one. The newest one's down there on Las Vegas Boulevard.
On the strip.
Yep. But I mean, this is a dealership too that sells for manufactured retail price, and they're here to work good deals with you. They got a lot. I forgot to ask how many bikes they got. They got a lot. Wait till you see the video we filmed today. The bad news is they didn't get the ST models in. Seems to be nobody on this side of the world got any. So there's none in California. There's none anywhere. The trucks, they don't seem to know where they're at. So the hope is that they're going to show up here. Yep. So you can put everybody's name on.
All right.
So we're on the regular one. And so we're going to be coming back this week, or me and Art, if Art comes out this week, he's supposed to be coming out. We're going to come back out here and do those three interviews. One with the GM here. He's going to take us through and show us the dealership, the shop. They got a great shop here. It's really slick looking. And then show us all the different departments and stuff that they have here. And they'll talk about how many bikes they have. And they got a lot of new ones here. They got the regular models that if you've been to a dealer, you've seen them. But I'll be putting a video out. Probably this will be Monday's video that you'll get to see the new models, the colors. They got the 114 motors on a lot of them now coming out. I forgot to ask. I thought I seen it in the video. Some of the models are coming with Legend shocks. So I got to double check to make sure the dealership didn't put them on. But I thought when I seen that video, it showed some Legend shocks on a couple of the models. So they're on these ones here.
Changing up the wheels and stuff. So they might be putting Legend shocks
and
on too.
And I'll go in a few minutes and we'll double check with that and see if they include that.
Good morning, Facebook user.
Yep. So we're if you're on Facebook, all you have to do is hit that where it's lit up there. It's a different color. It says StreamYard. You just give StreamYard the permission to use your name on our live feed. They don't sell it. They do anything. We're actually paying. You look at this. We're actually paying to have this website, a streaming site like this. We have to pay for that. When you see people that have their own logos on it, they're actually spending the money to get all this neat stuff. If you guys watched the video the other day, Wednesday, we had Amazon Adam on, and that was really neat. That's the first time we had a guest on, and it worked pretty good.
It did. I think
sounded
so.
pretty good, and hats off to Adam. He did a great job there. So if you want to know a lot about batteries, the reason we put that video up is about a week ago, a guy lost his motorcycle in his garage and his antique cars and everything. And the fire department believes it might have been the tender that caught the fire. So we want to make sure that, so some of the people were asking, what's the difference between a lithium battery? What's different between, an acid base and AGM? What's the difference there? So Adam came on, kind of told us a little bit about it. We talked about tenders and, everybody's got an opinion on that, but I said what I like to do. Some of the people agreed with me. And then Adam explained how typically it should be able to leave on all the time. But we were talking about how you could check the voltage and stuff on it and make sure it really shuts off like it's supposed to. Make sure your battery's not getting hot. So we talked about that on the battery. So if you go back and watch Wednesday's live, talks about that.
That's what somebody just asked. What's the 411 on the batteries? You'll have to go back and watch that video because
probably my next battery will be a lithium battery, just because I've done a lot of research on lithium, and when you're looking at a battery that's probably going to last at least 10 years or longer, it's a good investment. Where an average battery, which we've had some people on here the other day said they're on 7th or 8th year now. Good luck for them. I'm usually lucky to get 3 to 4 years out. The one that's in the bike now is 4, going on the 4th year.
The first one in Arizona is hot too, but I mean, we've been on the road, so we've been all over in different climates.
So I don't know. The original one barely made it 3 years. And I used a tender on that off and on. And then we explained in there how we did that. So we're not going to get real long into that. But we're in the dealership. Hopefully you guys don't hear the music. If it's too loud, if you guys can really hear what the song is, let us know and we'll have them turn it down because we don't want to get gigged on this.
Yeah.
We only got 8 people on.
It's too early for
it's
people.
a Saturday morning.
Well, that is true.
So
People's
in a
got
few minutes, we'll
things
take you
going on.
around.
And it's our daughter's birthday. Happy birthday, Mindy.
So we're going to show you some of the bikes here in a few minutes. We'll tell you a little bit of the dealership that's going on. We got a lot of people in here already. There's probably 100 or so people. It's not like there's a party coming in the front door.
Nope.
And I don't think anybody bought a bike yet.
So I don't know how you say your name for sure. Is it Alwyn? Alwyn Gala. Anyway, so he said he stayed at the campsite in Piedmont. I guess that. Are you gonna stay there this year too? That Neil was at?
Did you like it?
Yep.
Would you go back?
Mohawk Mike's on.
Did he have Mohawk Mike? We need to find you next week. Are you going to be there for the / Laughlin River Run / the new Bullhead River Run? Art's coming down, and he's going to help film. He's going to be here next week. And if you're going to come down, maybe we'd like to, next week, we could maybe get together with you, let you meet Art, and you can show him around town. He's been Laughlin. He's been to the River Run for a lot of time. I don't know if he's gone as many times as we have, but he's gone quite a bit. He used to come with us all the time. And so he knows kind of about what's going on. We got friends that actually lived over on the Bullhead City side, and that's kind of why we moved out this way, because we figured them out and showed us great how it was nice to live out here. So that's where we got about it.
Clean, quiet, and great owners.
That's great.
Campground.
Okay, so that's neat. So that's some good things to have good information. Oh, did you have an RV or did you rent a cabin? And if you had an RV, do they have full hookups? Ken didn't know that. Neil didn't know that.
Yeah.
Too many people. Neil didn't know that.
Ken's going to be there this year.
Yeah, Ken's going to be there. And so we never made it by there.
16 people. We doubled our.
Neil talked to those people last year, and they never give us a call. And I understand that a lot of places are busy, and here, if a lot of people go to that $800 deal, or even call to book a trailer spot there, you tell them that Bob and Tam's, who recommended you there, and Neil, then he gets that in his head, and he's like, oh, maybe we should talk to these people, but maybe he'll raise his prices too. But you never know. But hey, you can get in there this year at a good price. We haven't been able to find out his trailer prices for RV spots, and we're hoping that some of you, when they call about the $800 deal for the cabins, that you can ask about the RV spots, because he doesn't really answer the phone. You got to leave a voicemail, and then he calls you back.
Jimmy.
So that's on that. So we're in Vegas. This is our last day. We're heading back to Laughlin tonight, or this afternoon. And we got one of our subscribers we're going to meet up with. Yep. They're actually over there gambling and came over for a concert. So we're going to do a quick meet and greet with them. So we always like that. We like to meet you guys and talk to you guys. And we're not big movie stars. We're just like you. Just regular old people trying to show you the good stuff. Yep. Stuff that's going on and things like that. And this is our hometown dealers here. We're actually go to Mother Road Harley, which is out in Kingman. It's they actually own 5 dealerships. So they have the one in Kingman, which is Mother Road Harley. Then they have the one in
Apache Junction,
which I don't remember the name of that one is. I don't know. We haven't been there yet. So we have Las Vegas. We have Las Vegas Harley, which is right on the main drag. That's a pretty fancy store. And we'll talk about that in a minute. And then they've got Henderson, where I bought my bike at. It's just another little town next to Vegas called Henderson. Actually getting pretty big. And then we've got the Red Rock that's here.
Where we're at.
So the same gentleman owns all of them, and he's a very big motorcycle enthusiast. And we met him. He won't go on camera. He's camera shy, and that's okay. He's given us full run of his dealerships and things like that. And we don't really give these guys enough justice, because these are our hometown dealers. And we've dealt with them with buying a bike. Art bought one of his mini bikes he bought. He bought from Mother Road, and then I bought mine in Henderson. At that time, neither of these two were here. We used to have a Harley store, which I bought my 01 at. I bought a lot of bikes from this area. My 01 came from the one that used to be on Eastern, which was the best place to get T-shirts.
I think it was Eastern and Sahara, so it was like the other end of Sahara.
So now it's, I think it's a gym or something now. Not sure what it was. And but it was a neat store, and
it was big too.
It was all glass. You could see the shop when they're working on your bikes and stuff. They had a big game room. It's really a neat dealership. And
so that Alwyn said that he trailered in tent camp there. So how much did they charge you to tent camp there? And then he said they provided electricity with an extension cord, and they had clean bathrooms.
Okay. That's important. Because some of the campgrounds we hear have some really, S bathrooms with a Y on the end. And of course, the big campgrounds, when they get busy and people badmouth the buffalo chip and all that, and we're not getting anything from the buffalo chip. We just got to spend a lot of time there. We were actually there for 5 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't know, 5 weeks probably.
Yeah.
3 before and
Yeah, that's
probably
true.
2 after.
Probably.
One during, one after. So yeah, so we were there 5 weeks. So we got to see a lot of stuff, talk to a lot of the employees. We've never spent that much time in any campground at a rally. So that was the difference, that we know a lot more probably about the buffalo chip than anything else. Now, we're not experts on the buffalo chip by no means, which we hope to be soon, maybe next year. We'll find out a lot more information. 2023, get you a lot more information. And we're even thinking about staying out there for the whole rally, never going anywhere else. This year, we're going to spend a lot of time putting up some really good videos on rides. We've actually got, I don't have it here, it's Daytona that I've got. I got a guy with over 40 years living and riding 40 years on his motorcycle in Daytona, and he gave us his phone number. We probably should call him this weekend and just let him know that we got to, we're going to sit down with him and his wife. They actually go every week. They go on another ride out there, and they never ride the same roads twice. So he should know all the great riding down if you're going to Daytona. And so we're going to sit down with him and pick out some routes, and we're going to film those and show you guys.
Give them to you guys.
Yeah, other than just doing the loop, what else is great? They had JMP Cycles came on a video. Somebody posted it. Maybe it was they posted. I don't know who. Put it on Facebook yesterday or today. This morning I seen it. And they were talking about some of the rides. We was talking about A1A. Well, he was like, go both ways. Well, actually, you go, which way's the dead end? Up towards the
Lighthouse,
first turn, first, yeah.
That is, that's south.
Okay, so if you go south, it dead end. You can't go any farther. It ends
you have
up
to get back off the inlet, go down the 8 or the 1.
But you got to come way back.
And then
you'll have to
go
double back.
Port Orange. So
yeah. So it's not I don't know if he just made a mistake when he said it, or he was just saying, hey, you could ride both directions. But if you go the other way, it goes down to St. Augustine's and goes all the way down to Miami or all the way down to the Keys if you want to go that far. And some people do, which is kind of crazy. But I mean, I guess if I was coming from New York or Canada and I had a chance to come to Florida, maybe my first time, I'm going to spend a day or two just to drive down there and turn around and drive back. But for us, that's a long way to go. That's a long way. That Keys, just that ride on the
Florida's
Keys is
a long state.
Yeah. A lot of miles.
Yes,
and we don't have Redfink. Oh, yeah, he is. Redfink. How tall?
Isn't
that him?
No.
Oh, I don't have my glasses on. I thought that was him.
Well, no, the guy that tent camps there, he says he thought it was $30 a night.
Okay. And they might give you a deal if you do the 10 days or something like that too. So I mean, if you got electric, that's not bad. We're having an electric hookup. You got water and showers and all that good stuff. So that's pretty good. So that's some good ideas to think about. And I know there's a lot of people, which we probably talk a lot more about Sturgis than we do anything else. And if you've never been to Sturgis, you go to the other rallies, you might wonder why the heck these people talk about it. Actually, that is the biggest rally. That's the most people watch.
And his favorite.
And that's what you get the most. We get the most views from Sturgis. And it's just different from any other rally. What sucks about like Daytona is they just don't have enough campgrounds that are associated with the rally. There's a few that open up just for the rally, Cackleberry, and they got Crazy Horse and some of the other campgrounds there. The one we stayed at last year, what was that? Racetrack, RV Racetrack.
RV Racetrack.
We stayed there. They're only open I think they're also open during the races and on bike
during like the Daytona 500.
Yeah,
the car race
outside. We never stayed in the track, and we highly recommend do not stay inside the track unless you want to party all night long and never sleep. We can tell you who is it hates.
It's Dave and Mary Beth.
They get a kick when we tell their names. And they went there.
Quite of an experience there, and they
said the people got on those little midget motorcycles, whatever those things. I don't know what they even call them.
The little bitty, teeny tiny ones.
And they whine like a little baby, and they ride them all night long up and down the street. They got nothing better to do, and you can't sleep, or it's just awful. And people complain about the buffalo chip. That's nothing. We had no trouble sleeping in the buffalo chip with stuff that goes on there. And people say, "Oh, you're never going to sleep." We don't have any trouble. We're not the lightest sleepers in the world. We're not the heaviest sleepers in the world. Once I usually go to sleep, but I mean, I heard a few bikes at night go by, but you hear that in every camp. There's always a moron that comes in at 3 o'clock in the morning, riding through the crowd. And by the time you get up to see who the asshole was, he's gone. So
Adam Amazoil's on,
hey.
Robert Aguilera's on, and he says he's watching, and Aid over from, I think he's from England, I think Aid is.
Yep.
And so
probably
He
I guess
said,
it's-
good evening. He said,
Oh,
good
it's already
evening.
evening over there. Okay.
Yeah, so
Because I know
Stephen's done.
it's tough to catch
Myrtle
up with you
Beach.
guys at overseas, and we really like you guys when you come on and stuff. And it's like when we did that tsunami one, that was just crazy. I've never had so many foreign people from all over the world. It was just so impressive that I really wanted to stay on all day, but it was as it was. It was like one time we had like almost 5,000 people on at one time. It was just like it blew my mind. I would have never. That's what somebody
See, now
said.
we got a whole 28 on it.
Yeah.
Like
So I know it's early in the morning, but
England, he said.
we want to get back to the Bullhead area, Laughlin. We got to meet a couple tonight. That's actually we've seen them out in Sturgis, and they got late. They were actually going to go on our spearfish ride.
We never did get to meet up with them.
Yeah, and they came in late, and it was just a mess they had. And hey, we'll talk to them tonight and see what it was. We don't really remember quite what their circumstance was, but they didn't end up making it to Sturgis till later on, and we never did get a chance to run into them and meet them up with them. We're thinking about another ride for this year. You guys, I know there's not much people. Maybe a lot of you will watch this later. If you guys want to do a ride, what we're wondering this year is, would you rather do a ride before the rally or during the rally? Of course, during the rally, is going to be a lot more people there. If we did a ride during the rally, you've got to do probably like a Monday or a Tuesday, I would say. You couldn't wait any longer in the week to do it. So,
Richard.
So I don't know. There's a whole big thing.
Yep. Well, Neil's got some on too. Got to put my glasses on because we're on the.
Yeah, I didn't bring the computer in. I didn't. It's out in the truck. I could have brought it in, I guess, but we wasn't sure where we were going to be. We wanted to be right over here, but the girls are giving tickets away. I guess they're going to give some prizes. And they're back to mask wearing here. We got our masks, but we're keeping 6 feet away from everybody, so we don't have to wear them while we're here. But they're really pushing here. They said, well, a friend that we stay with, she's a nurse, and they said their hospitals are really full right now, and they're making a lot of floors going into ICU floors and stuff. So big pandemic going on in the Nevada, Las Vegas area. Anything special?
I was trying to read what Robert said. He said he came out on the video when we were on the bike and he was in his Cadillac.
Oh, that's right.
And he waved on the gravel bridge.
Oh, I thought that was the one where it was the guy that drove through in front of when we were in front of Loud American. There's a guy there who came through the car and waved at us.
Yeah.
Maybe not the same guy.
So Robert, where was that at? Was that in, because we saw Robert in Oklahoma.
Talking about Roberto?
Roberto.
And they used to call me that too.
You guys did know me then, he said.
We met him really at Adams campus where we.
They want to know if Bucky's is sponsoring you now.
They might. After we give them that scolding, we're going to give them in a couple of weeks. Right, about 2 weeks, we're going to give them a heck of a scolding on where they are screwing us as customers, and they're losing money.
From Taos. Did I say that right? Taos?
Yep, that's over in New Mexico.
Yeah, I think that's
my
where our
brother. Yep, my brother and his wife. Her family was from there. He owned a lot of property. I don't know what his last name was though. You might know him.
I don't know.
He lived there his whole life, and he died there. But he had a lot of property, and I think they still got some property there. But never been there. Never been through Taos.
Taos.
Yeah, there you go. She says it right. I don't. I'm not good at pronouncing names.
I'm usually not either.
Pretty neat. That auction was really neat. Wait till you guys see that. Oh, yeah. We actually got, we'll see how many people know who the spokesperson for Motor Trend TV. See if somebody tells us who. We had no idea who this guy was. We called corporate, and corporate called and said we wanted to have somebody give us a rundown on the history and all that good stuff. So this guy came out. Nice guy. He talked to us a few minutes and said, what do you guys want? And we kind of told him what we wanted. And he's like, okay, I can do that. And so before we did that, a bunch of people ran up to him and said, oh, man, can we take a picture with you? Oh, my husband's going to go crazy. And it's like, you're talking to us? Oh, him. Oh, okay. We're used to that, but wasn't us this time. They had no idea who we were. And took pictures of him, and we're like, okay. We thought this guy was an auctioneer. And,
that's what I thought, but I didn't.
Because he said he was going to be tied up. Very nice guy. And so we'll see if anybody watches it. I don't know if he does more than just their auction or if he's a regular Motor Trend announcer.
Personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like some of the, I guess, sports broadcasters are. That's what he's kind of like. I don't know. But very nice guy. Gives a lot of
see if anybody knows who he is. Rapfink hasn't come on. He knows who he is. And he said it yesterday when we were there.
Oh, okay.
Half wondering.
And So pretty exciting.
Do you want to walk around and show them some of the bikes? If anybody hasn't seen,
yeah,
you guys want to see the bikes?
I can't really turn the camera around because we're on the other goofy thing. So the camera's gonna be a little jiggity while we turn it around and show you some of the new bikes, show you some of the new colors. And let me get my phone on here so I've got a screen to look at. Just in time. I was gonna have to put my glasses on so I can see all that. Whoa!
Oh, sorry.
She's bending my little wobbly legs here. Got me all uneven now. All right, let me find my video.
Let's see what
There we
Roberto
go.
said. Well,
Okay, she's gonna look at the comments, and then when I come back, she will be talking about the comments. So let me go turn around, and we'll show you some of the new bikes that they have in stock here. Hopefully the music's not too loud. I forgot about that. We got music playing behind us. So hopefully we won't get gigged on that. Forgot the music was going.
That band white one?
Yeah, I forgot the music's going too.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully we won't get gigged on it. So. I think that the last one was, I think it's.
As long as they had the balloons on them.
All right, so here we go. We'll just show you the, hopefully we didn't get gigged. Let me know if you guys could hear that music or not. If you did, we're going to kind of get screwed on the video. You're supposed to be looking at your phone.
I know, but I was going to take that off. You could probably see more.
So we'll show you the dealership here real quick. We also did a whole video on this. So you guys can, you'll be able to see. Let me move out of the way. You won't see my head in it. But see all these bikes here? That's their used selection. So it runs all the way to there. That's how many used bikes they have. They do have some 2021s left. So you guys, if you're in the Las Vegas area, you might want to check out.
Hey, you're back.
So that's kind of a quick preview of what they've got here.
No, it wasn't Mike Choi.
And some of the new bikes that they've got in stock at the moment.
Yeah,
The STs have not showed up anywhere on this side of the world. We don't really know for sure exactly what happens. I don't think even the GM here knows what the delay is. He said normally what they always do when they have debuts like this, like when they brought the regular bikes that you see now, they've had them for a couple weeks. And those all sit in a warehouse someplace. Harley will buy rent a warehouse. They'll put all the bikes in the area. They'll stick them all in there. And then when they announce them, then the trucks will all roll in within that same week. They get all the new bikes. Well, this time it seems like the bikes may be still at the factory and they're still loading all the trucks up and sending them out. So don't really know why they're doing what they're doing this time, but there's a big, big delay on getting the bikes. So if you're in an area, let us know if you've seen the new ST bikes yet, the new Harley ones. Basically the ones that we have today, all they've really done to them is you've got some new wheels on them. They've got some new colors out here. That blue's really nice. Kind of a neat looking color. The red's really red. I don't know how well that picked up or not, but the red's pretty neat. So we've got
Steven said he thought it was that billiard red, but it's not. That was last year. This is a different red. I forget what he said the name of it.
So we'll get all that. What we're doing is we're coming back here next week.
Said there was no music.
Hopefully with Art, and Art's supposed to be showing up here on Monday if all goes well, and he's going to ride out here, and it's going to be pretty busy. Art, he ain't on yet. He's probably still in bed, and
or he's working.
Yeah, he could be working.
See what the if I can see what the.
So I mean, there's a lot of people here at the dealership, so it's pretty neat here. First time we did a live from any of the Las Vegas Harley dealerships, and like I say, this is kind of our hometown dealers. Same gentleman owns all the ones in Vegas, the one that's over at Kingman, and one in Apache Junction. Great guy that owns it. He's a very big enthusiast on motorcycles. Maybe we'll get to go to his house soon. He's not too far from where we're at. Maybe we can get a shot to go over and check out his motorcycles. He's supposed to have a bunch of motorcycles, the owner.
Red line red.
That's the new color.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's what somebody's on there already told me. I didn't have to go.
She did not walk across the road. She wanted to take a break.
No.
It's been a long morning already. Yesterday was these last 2 days walking around that museum or museum.
We got our steps in. Boy, let me tell you.
Did anybody come up with the guy's name that?
No, somebody said Mike Joy, but that wasn't it. Hi, Donna.
Who is it, John?
It's not Kramer. It's with no R. It's Cayman.
I don't know if he just does the bikes and the motorcycle shows or auctions, but I mean,
it's on that phone.
Wait till you see all the bikes that are there. They sold a collection of Harley-Davidsons, and we can't find out who owns them. We got some books that we're actually going to raffle off and sell to you guys. No, we're going to give them away in a raffle that, not really a raffle. I guess it's a raffle. You put your name in and we pull your name out. And we got about 6 or 8 of them. I don't keep one myself. And it's got this whole collection, and it's a really nice, it's actually a great looking cable book. I only glanced at it, so I haven't had a chance to really go through it yet and see what's all in it, but it's a pretty thick book. And I think it might show all the bikes or some of them. And I think it gives you a little history on the bikes, things like that. Hopefully we can see who owns this collection. It sold for $4.2 million. Not at once, all the bikes they had sold. And most of them were all like early 1900 bikes. Some military bikes. One of the military bikes they told us is sold for over $250,000. Now we don't know which one that was.
And back then it was probably a $300 motorcycle.
Probably even that. And back then, the Harley might have gave the bikes to the military for free. And when that bike came back, I know sometimes when people come back from war and stuff like that, they get, they bring some of this stuff home with them. So, I don't know the history yet. We haven't read the book, but I got a lot of great shots of these bikes. Wait till you see some of these bikes. If you're an enthusiast, like somebody asked me on that, we just did a live from there, just a quick one to let everybody know we were alive the other day there. I think it was Thursday. Was it Friday? Friday. We did a live there last night too.
Yeah.
So Thursday and Friday, I think we did a live. And just wanted to kind of let you know what was there. And somebody asked for a particular bike. It probably was there. Most of the bikes, other than this collection, most of them were sent from overseas. They came from England or France or Australia or wherever they came from. And a little bit of everything. And there was some stuff there that I couldn't believe it was even on an auction. But to me, it wasn't something that I would have bidded on. It just looked like a bike that somebody traded in. I don't know. But we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah.
So we're here at the dealership, and pretty exciting. One of the things I'm going to let you know, they do work pretty much off of manufactured retail price here for selling the bikes. And they've also downtown, actually on the strip, the one down there is actually the same too. He says, a lot of people don't want to go to the one on the strip because they just think they're going to be the most expensive. And they're actually the same price as this one. Mm-hmm. Now, Henderson's a lot smaller. It's a very small dealership.
It's tiny, yeah.
And then also where we're at, Mother Roads over in Kingman, they're a multi-dealership. They have Honda and Kawasaki. And they also sell quads and stuff like that they sell. So they're a multi-dealer. The one that's out there in
Apache Junction,
we have nothing about.
I'm sure we stopped there.
We probably have.
Because we went to Tortilla Flats when we went to Arizona Bike Week up here.
It's very possible. Very possible. So pretty neat. They have something going on here all the time at this dealership. If we ever get back to having a bike week here in Las Vegas, it's a really great time. This is the place that has the best wet tea contest right here. Believe me, we were here, like me and Art came out here about 9 years ago. it was wild for something that's inside, you know, city limits or whatever it is here. And so, yeah, and then they've got the new one on Main Street. The new one that's on the Strip, which is actually right across the street from the big giant sign everybody stops, takes pictures at. That's the big Harley dealer there. They got a big stage in the back, a big air. What's neat about them is they're on the back side of their building is the airport where all the private planes come in. So, you know, they can blast out there and nobody cares. So they'll have bands and stuff out there and stuff. And then Henderson will have a lot of things. This is another one of these rallies. I don't know if they'll do it this year. If they do it in October here. It's usually the first weekend of October. It's when they have it here. Firing up some bikes. A lot of people checking them out. A guy over here sitting on a bike, checking it out. And
a lot of people here. It's pretty busy.
Yeah. For a Saturday.
Well, they were going to have this big open house and show all the debut of the 2022 bikes. And it's a shame that
they were expecting him here on Wednesday and then no Thursday. And then when she called yesterday, he said, I don't think we're going to get him. He's very disappointed. GM's very disappointed. Everybody probably is.
Yeah.
But I mean, what are you going to do? It's not their fault. They, you know, it is what it is. And maybe Harley will learn something from this. And, you know, you're kind of hurting a lot of your dealers. And because everybody's kind of excited about new bikes coming in. And I know which is the new Sportster seems to be the one that everybody's interested in, the Sportster ST. And that seems to be the hot talk.
What does the ST stand for? A lot of their bikes are the ST.
I don't know. You go over there and ask them.
Standard time? I don't know.
Oh, standard time. We don't keep it. We don't read all the stuff because we spend most of our time planning all these rallies to get to them where we're staying at, trying to get all contacts to talk to people. So we don't keep up with all the new models coming out. We don't know. I take a picture of the car to make sure when if I put up the, how's it going? Pretty good. So thank you. We've got a subscriber here. And so it's pretty neat. And but that's what we just spend most of our time with. We don't really have, like I misspoke yesterday. We talked about three-wheelers, and I said they were outlawed. And that's always what I was told back in the 80s, but it ended up being that they couldn't sell new ones anymore. It wasn't that you couldn't buy them. But where we used to live at, they
he didn't know. But he's gonna find out somebody that does.
But they had no idea. No, where I talked to back then, it was a guy that sold them, and that's what he had told me. He had told me, no, we're never going to handle them. We won't take them in trade. We won't do anything with them. So that was the information I had. And then when he wrote it, I Googled it and said it was like 1988 is when the government stopped them from making new ones. That is what it is. I knew that's what it was.
Well, then why didn't you tell me?
I didn't. As soon as he said it, I knew that. Now I know.
It was Adam.
See, Adam keeps up with all that bike stuff.
Yes, he knows.
He's already got all his stuff planned out every year. He knows where he's going to be and how he's going to set up, and it's just like clockwork for him. But with us, it's every rally, even though we've been there, it's a battle to set it all up. You know, Vegas is great. Or Sturgis is all set up. Well, actually, we have one campground we haven't set up yet, which it won't set up to a different later date.
Florida's being a pain too.
Yeah. Well, it's only for her to visit her friend. We're having a lot of issues. We'll try again tonight and see if we can get it. We have a place we can stay, but it's a little bit farther distance than where she wants to stay. We want to stay right next to Black Widow. Black Widow Harley. That's where we've been the last 2 times we stayed down there. And it's really neat right there. It's a good location. Listen to that rumble.
What's it got on it? Screaming Eagles?
No. If you just heard those pipes, those are the pipes I'm putting on my bike. The slip-ons. We won't tell you.
Oh, we got it. It's sport. What was it? Sport touring.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it comes with the 117.
There you go. We have a subscriber here too.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, he said hi when he walked by. He said he watched. He's got a gray, like a shirt like that, and it's got writing on the back, but not a patch. It's like it's printed into it.
Okay.
He walked that way. I don't know. He's on camera, but I can't go back to it.
Well,
actually had say, Bob, how's it going? I watch your channel.
Have to get him a sticker.
Yeah. And we don't have the new stickers with us. So if you show up here, we don't have new stickers. We don't have the patches. And the patches can be screwed up. We found what a mess that is. Well, I ordered it from a company in Pasadena, California. Thought, okay, that's not far from Arizona. Get them in a couple days. Ends up coming from China. Thanks for telling us.
You order it through Pasadena. They send it to China.
I would have never ordered it if I would have known that. All of our stickers and stuff are printed here in the U.S. Business cards, we got some really neat new business cards coming out. We picked those. They'll actually be here. I think they're delivered today. And I just ordered those Thursday. So live and learn.
Yeah.
I've got some new teen stickers coming. Right now, I only have 50 for sure that's showing up, but I have another 100 if they get here before we leave. If not, you might have to wait till next year to get them, until after August. If you're at one of our rallies that we go to after August, which won't be a whole lot. After August, we do, if they do the bike week here, and then if we do, we're definitely going to Galveston and Mexico. We're hoping to go down there to Mexico again. If any of you want to go with us, that's the only way we're going to go. If some of you guys want to go down there and party with us down there, that's the only way we want to go. We want to end the year up with having fun with you guys. And so if you want to come down there, we'll help you find a place to stay. We get a bunch of you wanting to go. Her cousin knows a lot of people. We can probably get a really nice house for you guys. We already got a place we're staying with her cousin. No extra room there, because our daughters come down too. So we'll stay in with them. We can probably find you a real good deal. You get 5 or 6 or 8 guys, or maybe more going. It'd be very reasonable for. I think it starts on. Does it start on Thursday? It start on Wednesday.
Thursdays when
Thursday
it starts. There wasn't a whole lot going on.
And it's pretty much over on Saturday. Sunday is when there's still a few things going on Sunday.
But we left slip-ons you're getting.
Gotta wait and see till next week. You just heard him. I even got my tips on it that I'm going to put on it. No, mine's all chrome. But it's the same style tip. It's got. Let me see if they got the header pipe one. They wanted to really sell me the header pipe too, but I already bought that SNS.
There's another bike. You guys can hear that. He's looking. He can't tell. I thought you got the one that had the splash. It doesn't.
Get ones right like that. I like the way it is. 100% made in America. Every piece is made in America. This is going to be I put them on my last 2 bikes that I had. My old one, Ultra, and then my our Classic. That one was. It didn't have the whatever they are in the front. My mind just went blank. And then the Valances. No, the Valances. I had those pipes put on my other bike, my 01, which was just a Classic, and then my 09 was an Ultra Classic. And I had those same mufflers put on that bike. They got a lot better tips now than they had before. Tips before weren't the greatest in the world. I mean, that was back in probably, 2010, 2011, I might have bought them. So it's 10 years ago. And so we're going to be, Art's probably going to help me put them on. We'll do a filming. You probably get to see them next week. So what we did is we get a filming on opening them up. We're going to put them on the bike. We're not going to do a big long thing showing you how to put slip-ons on. We'll show you the 2 bolts you take off, take the clamp off, pull it off. Not rocket scientist. And so we're going to put those on, and then we'll let you hear them. What's nice about them is maybe we'll fire this one up again and let you hear it, and I'll film it on mine because they put the header pipe on, so I'll film that whole thing so you can see it in my video. And then what we got is a personal tour of the factory. I'll say where it's at. And it's American made. And got a really nice tour of their establishment and showed you how they did it and the work. And same guys have owned it. I don't know if they're brothers or not. 2 guys own it. They've had it for a long time. I think it's over 20 years old. They've been in business. They own the building they're at now. They do everything there, but the chroming and the black. I forget what they call it. Black. It's like I can't think of what it's called. It's like a powder coat, but it's not powder coat. But it's black something. And that they send out because if anybody knows anything about painting, doing chrome, and doing stuff like that, you got the EPA and all these regulations. And for them, it's easier for them to send it into the city and have it all done there. But everything else they do in-house, and then it comes back, and they polish them all, pack them all up, and we show you all this in a video. So the first one's going to be us showing you the product, me and Art putting it on. That'll all be in the same video, and you get to hear them. Second, you'll get to see in a day or so, you'll get to see, hopefully it all goes right. This video will come out on Wednesday, us putting the pipes on. Friday we'll come out with the video of the factory tour. That's already done. They sent me some pictures to add to it, so I got to throw those in. And but that video is pretty much ready it's cut and go. All their workers have seen it, and they love the video. It turned out pretty good. It's tough doing videos. What we do is we just shoot it. So it's not like we're doing, we're not doing a TV commercial. Our son-in-law does TV commercial. They just did a TV commercial and a 30-second commercial in Hawaii, and it took them 7 days to do it. And he still got to edit it. He ain't even got done editing. That's just shooting a 30-second commercial, 7 days. And so yes, we don't spend that much time making things perfect and look perfect. We could, but we wouldn't be able to put videos out as often as we do. Anything good coming on? Can we talk about? She got Stancy new shirt yesterday.
Yeah, this a couple weeks ago.
Oh, did you?
I like it. I got it at Kohl's, I guess. This was when we were up in Pismo Beach. That's when I got it.
Don't remember.
So Mark Littles, he said he's from Frigid, Vermont.
It's pretty cold. Actually, yesterday when we talked to Neil, it was actually 40 degrees
46,
in Alaska, and that was warmer than most of the United States. There was people last night wrote on there it was like 12 degrees. One person wrote -7 on the East Coast. I guess did you guys get all that snow they were predicting? If you're on the East Coast, they were really predicting a really bad storm coming up there for you guys. So here it's not too bad. Well, it was cold this morning. I posted when I got up this morning, it was 37 degrees here. I mean, what's different here? It's gonna get up in the 60s today here.
And the sunshine.
We get home, it'll be in the 70s, so it'll be about 8-9 degrees. Actually, this morning it was almost 10 degrees warmer.
In Bullhead.
Yeah, than it was here. And so yeah, so it's different here. I think they're a little higher elevation here than what we are, the river. And so pretty exciting. So
been on almost an hour.
wow, we're almost ready to wrap this up.
36
sad
people on.
We know we won't be doing a lot of lives on Saturday mornings, except for when the rally comes. You guys like to watch stuff during the rally, but probably won't do another live like this in the morning on a Saturday.
Paul wanted to know what he missed.
Not a whole lot.
We're at Red Rock Harley-Davidson in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we're showing you a little bit of the new bikes. We're going to be back next week and do some videos here at Red Rock. Show you the whole dealership. It's a really big dealership. Getting an interview with the dyno guy there, and
One of the mechanics is going to sit down with us, and we're going to talk about something that anybody that buys a new Harley or owns one wants to know this question. They ask it all the time. So we're going to sit down, and they've agreed here we'll do a disclaimer before, because you should always, just things change on a daily basis. So something could change after what he tells us. So nobody's going to be held responsible, or you can't sue us or the dealership for what's being said. It's like we do. We try to give you good information. And sometimes we're not perfect, and we're not always 100% right, but we try to give you, that's why we'd rather talk to the people that run the dealership and people that do the work. And I can have Amsoil Adam on here to talk about the batteries, somebody that knows about batteries. I know a lot about them, but I don't know a lot about lithium batteries for motorcycles. Probably about the same as it is for an RV. And but it's nice to have somebody else come in and give you that insight. It's the same reason we have somebody talk about tuners. We're not tuner experts. And there's a lot of guys come out here that aren't really, I don't know if they call them, well, I used to be an ASE mechanic, automotive service excellence, back in the day when I worked on cars, to where you were a qualified person that took tests and all that. And so, I mean, for me to sit here and tell you about tuners that I like and don't like, I'm not no expert on it. So to me, I'd rather bring somebody in that actually does the work, like Speeds. Been doing it for 28
years, something like that.
They've been doing it for that long, tuners, and they know all about them. And that's why we try to bring people in like that to help you guys out, to where if you've got those questions, especially with them, they've done so many. I'll bet you they probably have done more tuners than any other independent shop. Maybe. Even a dealership. I think they've probably done more tuners. And
so Randy said February 5th, his dealership is going to do the unveil of the new bikes.
Okay.
So maybe nobody in the country got the new bikes yet. Maybe they were running a little behind. I don't know.
If you were closer to like New York or something like that.
That was in North Carolina.
Okay.
So that's the East Coast.
I thought maybe being closer to Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, being closer to, not Milwaukee, Wisconsin, is it? Milwaukee, Wisconsin? Milwaukee.
Yeah, I think it's Wisconsin. Yeah, Milwaukee. That's north of Illinois. That was Wisconsin.
So if you were closer there, maybe you could get
in southeast Minnesota.
Oh, Sturgis has been really cold too. That's why we're not up there year round.
Vermont said not much snow in this storm that just came up.
Okay, that was good. I mean, they were really predicting like they did that one we had a couple of weeks ago. Was it that I-95 was shut down and people couldn't get off of it, or
that was in Virginia, I think, or West
Virginia.
Still,
I think it was 95. Man, it was still going across. It was still the East Coast.
Yeah. So Steven said they had snow in Myrtle Beach this morning, but it's gone now. It's 70 degrees.
That's kind of like here in Vegas. We were here one year and it snowed.
Yes.
And it was just
that was crazy.
But I mean, across town, they actually
came out, it was like flurries.
It was like an inch across town, but it lasted like an hour because the ground's not frozen here. You can look at the mountain here right behind us. It's Mount Shasta and
Mount Charleston.
And it's got a lot of snow on top. I'd like to go up there, but we don't have enough time today to drive up there and look at it.
So V-Monk said he doesn't care much for the new Pan America color. He said it looks like a Smurf. It must be that bright blue. I
I
don't know
haven't
what
seen
color
it. They
that
don't
is.
have one here.
Well, is it probably that same color as that blue one up there? That
I don't know. So
Anyway.
I don't know.
117 is going to be the new standard engine. Maybe
Well, they keep doing that all the time. It's all about getting bigger, and
Asheville. Okay.
and so I don't know. It's which it is. 117 will be around for a while. It's like I got the one. She had the 103 in her bike. Well, I've had the 88. I've had the 96, and then she had the 103. I got the 110, and to me, now I haven't rode the new 117s, but I mean I rode the 114s, and it wasn't any faster than my 110. So it's like me. They always want to know because my bike's paid for. Do you want to trade it in? I'm like, not really. My bike's just got a little over
40
20.
people on. Everybody's waking up.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
Or they're done with their morning Saturday chores.
It depends on where you're at because it's mid-afternoon most places because it's here. Well, we're here now. What are we at here?
Yeah.
We're at almost noon here in Las Vegas. So everywhere else.
We get to eat now.
So it's like mid-afternoon for rest of the United States, and except for Neil. But Neil's been doing he's working with Fish and Game writing permits for the hunting and all the different things that you do in Alaska. Pretty important job, I guess.
Yep.
He said they're doing like 280 things they got to write up, and he's been busy. So he was on a little bit last night. And he's probably there today doing it. And
They don't have any Sportsters out yet. The new 2022s. Kevin wanted to know, and he said he just got done plowing and shoveling the snow. So the Sportsters, they're waiting. I think everybody across the country is waiting for them to come out. Nobody's gotten them yet.
We haven't heard anybody say they got them yet. So we were asking earlier if anybody has been to their dealer and they've got the new STs, and nobody says they have them yet. But what's going to end up happening is if you want to see one, you're going to need to get in because every dealer I talk to, people already want to buy that new Sportster. It's pretty much going to be sold out
as soon as they get them.
So I put the one out on Santa Maria, Harley-Davidson, which is we talked about the new bikes and stuff up there when we were in Santa Maria. And it's like every dealership, which I don't know if your dealership where you're at is gone yet or not, but like for instance, Santa Maria, they had 6 bikes that they could pre-order that would get in the front of the assembly line. So like if you wanted to buy a brand new bike today, your dealer might have so many bikes based on how many they sell that they could pre-order. Not saying anyone's got any of them left or not, but you might check into that because it looks like what we're hearing is once those allotments gone, because that's part of your bikes you're going to get. Let's say a dealership gets 30 bikes a year, 6 of them or 4 of them, whatever it is, going to be deducted from that 30. But you probably won't be able to pre-order any after that. It's going to be the regular assembly, whatever they send you. So that's what we're hearing. But nobody knows, Harley could change at the minute. And somebody was, I think it was on here. Somebody was asking, that guy on the phone, just one of the salesmen. Somebody wanted to know if there was a new Springer coming out. No, I didn't know that. Springer was actually, we've talked to several Harley dealers about this. Springer was the worst sales ever in Harley-Davidson with Springers. Nobody wanted them. And they had the least amount that they ever sold. And it's funny how that, because there's a lot of guys that want the old Springer bikes, and you see a lot of them around. And but it's funny how something like that, it took all those years for you to.
Because now it's a classic, I guess.
Yeah. And
if they did, and if they didn't make that many, then it's even harder to get. So then it makes it more desirable because
it's kind of like last night at the auction, they had these. A guy told me what they were called, but ends up being that they're
like service bikes.
Yeah, they're the motorcycles which police had. They had that big plastic container on the back, a 3-wheel. And some of them actually, when I was Googling it last night, because the guy told, but it ended up being they were selling them for over $6,000 for these ones that were junk. Parts were stolen off of them. Somebody bought a bunch of them. I think the guy got them at an auction, or actually
They said that he had Chicago police on a couple of them.
Area. And so this guy probably picked them up cheap, but I mean, they sold for $6,000, and I'm like, I can't believe they would be worth restoring. Well, somebody else came on and said that they're very highly desired because there's not a lot of them out there anymore. And he says, they bring really big money. Well, actually, I found one in Indiana, completely restored for $13,500.
They bought these for $6,500.
Yeah. And they're gonna have a little bit more than $13.50, I bet it. But it only took me a little while to find one. Google it and found a guy that was selling one, and he completely restored. He had a big old thing written up about it. Was asking $13.50 for it. So those people probably should have went over there and bought that one. And but I mean, maybe somebody bought it because they needed parts for one that they needed. They're trying to fix up. Maybe it did. The box is broken because those seem to be all right. A couple of them had the original emblem on the back. They didn't have any markings on the side or the front. Some of them had the sirens on them, which was kind of neat because the siren ran off the wheel. So you put it down on the wheel, and it was like the old I don't know, it was to show our age that you had the speedometer you used to put on your wheel on your bicycle to tell how fast you were going. And it spun a little wheel, and the wire went up to your speedometer and made it work. And showing our age. And,
I didn't have one.
Never had a speedometer on your bike? I had one that did lights like that too. Put on there and made the light go on.
We would just take straws and cut them and put on there so they go clickety, 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 click. Baseball cards. We did the straws because you get all those fancy colors. We were girls. We had the banana seat bikes with the big ape hangers. I don't know what they called them.
I had an apple peeler, red apple peeler. Swim. Wish I had that bike today.
Mine was purple.
And
anyway,
so that's enough for bicycle talk.
I guess. So Neil says it's 19 up there in Alaska this morning.
Yep. You're 40 degrees.
Yeah, it went away. So Paul says he's been out there cleaning snow since 2 a.m. Oh, they got 16 inches in, I guess, Connecticut, CT.
That's what used to happen to us in Illinois when it used to snow. We got to the last few years when we lived in Illinois that it would barely snow, and then it would melt a little bit, and it would freeze, and it would snow on top of it. So you drive down the road, looked like, oh, it's just a snowy road. I could drive on it until you tried to stop, and it was a sheet of glass.
Black ice, is that what they call that?
Yeah. You see that usually on a highway. It blends in with the
Kevin says he remembers those. He said the faster you went, the brighter the headlight got.
Go down them hills. So yeah.
19 in Maryland, I guess. I don't know.
It's cold. Florida's been getting some cold weather down there too. Hopefully it'll be warm by the time we get back down there. I was actually going back and looking at some of the Daytona from last year, 2021, and when we first got there, we had our heavy coats on. And everybody riding on Main Street all had their winter coats on and stuff and heavy gear.
Well, I remember we got down there, and then that's what they said. They said, we haven't had weather this cold for like 22 years. I said, of course. I come down, and it's got the coldest weather there is. So
well, like 2 weeks ago, it was like in the 80s. And so hopefully it'll warm up.
That's when you all catch pneumonia.
Hopefully it'll warm up before we get back. Maybe that cold got really cold down there, kill all those germs, so everybody comes to Daytona healthy. Because, the germs like the warm weather. So maybe that'll help out with the freezing.
Kill all those germs.
We got a lot of them. We got a lot of Canadians coming in. I've seen people from Germany are flying over. This is going to be Daytona. This may be a record-breaking crowd for Daytona this year. Everything is pretty much sold out, and the few hotel rooms that are available, it's like $500-600 a night, and even higher. And if anybody's going to Daytona, be very cautious about people renting rooms and stuff. We're hearing there's a lot of scamming going on right now.
The Airbnbs or renting rooms in houses.
Yeah, that there's nothing that they don't have any. Like there was a guy the other day on Facebook. He had a timeshare that he wanted to sell. He had reasonable. It was actually, you could stay the whole week for like $500, and it was a great deal. And when I wrote him, I said, "How can I prove who you are?" He said, "You can call the resort, and I'll give you my name, and you can look it all up, and they'll give you all the information about the room." Okay, that's pretty legit. I'm okay with that. And but I mean, some things you can do, if you get it here at the last minute, you're not so bad because you can always go back on your credit card and cancel it. But, if you booked it 6 months ago, credit card's going to tell you, too bad, you should have checked into it. It is scary like that when you're renting from somebody, you have no idea who these people are. You assume just because they got a Facebook account, they're somebody, especially at Daytona right now. All these women, girls are putting all these posts on, and they're just getting on the site today or yesterday and posting all these pictures. And all these guys are going crazy over them and stuff. And one of them yesterday I commented on and said, because a lot of times what you can do is on Facebook is when you go down there you hit their picture, opens it up, and you go all the way to the bottom of the 3 marks, you hit that, and down at the bottom, it'll say open their profile. You hit that up, and then you can go back to their Facebook page, and you can see what they have. Well, this girl had a different name than the one she was posting on the Daytona one. So then I just wrote on there and said, I don't think it's the same person. She says she's in Daytona, and she left a phone number on her regular Facebook page that she was trying to sell a pair of brand new shoes she bought. She bought them one day, didn't like them. She was trying to sell them, and her phone number, she still had her phone number on there, and it was from Ohio when I Googled it. So when she said she's lived her whole life in Florida, how'd you end up with an Ohio? Well, she ended up writing me back and said, you can friend me and it'll prove you I'm real. Not necessarily, but I mean, her Facebook page had probably 20 pictures or 30 pictures of all these Hooter girls that she just put up on the 25th. Why would you do that if it's your personal page? And they weren't all taken at the same time, because you could see different backgrounds, different quality pictures. It almost looked like they pulled them off the internet. So there's a lot of scams out there, and I don't know why. I understand when you got a Facebook page, you got a group page, and it's hard to keep track of who's putting stuff on and things like that. But I mean, a lot of them now are. I don't know.
So Stephen wanted to know, is Daytona more friendly to Bike Week this year?
We don't know.
They got a new mayor.
They got a new mayor, and we're hoping to sit down and talk to them, at least somebody from the city, to say what their intentions are. When we were there last year for
October.
Yeah, Oktoberfest. That 2 weeks before that, the city council had met, and this was written up in the newspaper, and I read it actually online, and I told you guys what it said on a live, and said that that Daytona is going to change their policy, and they want to become more friendly biker community. Well, of course, nobody believes this. So we want to sit down with the mayor or somebody from the mayor's office. So we're hoping we have a meeting with an important person in Florida, in the area in Daytona, that we are hoping that they get us in with the mayor and sit down and talk to him. And we're hoping to talk to the police chief in Daytona and also in Ormond Beach to give you that great interview about how to keep you out of trouble.
So they said it's colder than a witch's. You know what?
Yep, I say that all the time. Or it's hotter than a one on a hot tin roof.
Yep. So Kevin says thanks for all the stuff that we do. And B Monk is the one that said that. Wrap Pink's on now. Deb the Reb says Facebook is full of scams. Be careful.
Yep.
And Charles, no, I don't want any of your snow. He said he'd send us some snow.
You can see it.
I like to look at it.
We can always go up to it. That's what was nice when we lived in California, because you could actually go, which is probably the only state or it's probably the only place in the world that's reasonable. Now, somebody told me Iceland you could do this in, but who wants to go in 30-degree weather or 30 degrees, jump in the water? But it's the only place that when we lived in Orange County, California, you could get up bright and early in the morning, go down to the beach, and you could surf in water that's 56, 60 degrees weather, warmth inside, surf. And by the afternoon, you could be up in Big Bear on the slopes, skiing in the weather of around 30 degrees. And you'd be comfortable, because most of the people up there skiing don't even have any jackets or nothing on. They got long sleeve shirts, and that's it. And some of them are even in shorts. And but because it's not that awful cold. Now, you get up to Mammoth, it gets a little colder. That's where they get the big snow at. But we're not that. Our daughter goes to Mammoth. She likes to go up there and do the deep snow. But so we like to look at it. We've lived through all that snow. I used to plow snow in the 80s. I had a big old international dump truck that had a big plow on it. I had some Jeeps with plows on it and a pickup truck with a plow on it. So I've done that crap.
And they did it for like 2 years, and then all of a sudden it quit snowing. It for like the next 5 years,
and
it never
dusting.
snowed
Oh
again.
yeah, and sold all my equipment. Sold my Jeep too. I should have kept that. I had a 1979 CJ7, my favorite color, orange, hard top on it, had the plow on it, had the 304 automatic.
But it was cold in the wintertime.
Heaters suck in those things.
So they're all saying they're trying to tease Neil because how cold it is there. But they said it's only short-lived, and Neil's lived in it all year round.
Which is, Neil had like 90 mile an hour wind the other, like a couple weeks ago, and it was like it blew all the power lines down, and then it got cold, and it's like and they're blowing trucks and houses, all kinds of stuff was blowing over. So it's crazy. Some reason we don't go to Alaska. And now I think he just said daylight's now. I think he said it's finally daylight again. So I couldn't live in that. I get the daylight's all right. I could not have nighttime. That would just be too much. How depressing could that be? Well, that's what he said. They say it's more. That's why when you have, it's like people, if you live out there in the Midwest and stuff like that, California, it pretty much, the sun comes out every day, sometime during the day.
Usually, sometimes in the winter, it's like 30 minutes before the sun goes down, but it does come out.
Yeah. So when we used to live in Illinois, we had gone in the wintertime 3 months and never see the sun.
Yeah.
And when we were living in California, people go, how did you ever do that?
Yeah, like December, January, February.
Or that, or you tell them how cold it gets. And they're like, what do you do? And we're like, what do you mean, what do you do? That's colder than my freezer. So we still went to work. How did you go to work in that weather?
Outside in that, can you? It's like
People in California have no idea what the
They
rest
don't know
of the
what
world.
weather is.
Oh, we used to always tell them we lived in St. Louis, outside of St. Louis, lived on the Illinois side. They said, "Oh, you're on the East Coast." And we're like, "No, we're in the Midwest." Anything, Nevada is actually on the East Coast of California.
Anything east of California
Yeah.
is the East Coast.
Yeah. We only lived there for 17 years, but
They're a different
California
breed.
has a very, if you've been there your whole life, you have a very different attitude than the rest of the world has. For years, that's what California really wanted to do, is be their own state.
Be their own country.
Yeah, they couldn't survive. They couldn't be their own country. They couldn't survive. And,
Like in Phoenix said, a one night stand lasts 6 months in Alaska.
yeah.
You might as well get married then, huh? Thank you. Yeah. So if you're on, you appreciate us, give us a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's on. Oh, I don't know. It's on your side. I don't know. It's down here somewhere. The blue thumb.
It's on my side.
Hit it. Please. Thank you.
Let me look. I think it's on my side. Oh, no, it is on your side.
All right. Right here.
Here. Right above the.
Right here. I'll take him off.
Right over your name.
Right
There you go,
there.
right there. Hit the thumbs up. And you got to close the chat to see it.
Yeah.
See, I'll do it now. Thumbs up for us.
Oh, I thought it was always blue. I guess it's
No.
clear, and you hit it and it turns black.
Yeah.
I don't know.
24 whole people on. Holy
Thank
smokes.
you.
A lot of people comment.
It
No?
says 50 up here.
I don't know. Mine's oh,
50?
it is up here. Yeah.
Yeah. 1 hour.
Not bad.
Ding, 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 ding.
We're not going to stay on much more than an hour. So we'll see what happens. Pretty exciting. Well, what else are we going to do? We eat lunch?
Eat, yes. We're
Where?
fasting. We don't eat
Where?
until noon.
If we haven't lost any weight when I get home,
He's not
I'm
gonna
not going to exercise or do anything ever again, because we probably, well, she sat some of the time here the last day, but I'll bet you I walked 20 miles in the last 2 days. Up and down steps.
Well, they don't have escalators or elevators because it's like the arena, the escalator.
Well, it's for a rodeo.
So there's no elevators or escalators. So you have to walk up the steps, walk down the steps, walk up the steps, walk down the steps. I said, I'm sitting down over here. This is where I'll be.
You could ride. They had escalators. They had one of those people movers too,
Yeah.
coming into the place, because you come in the casino and go in the back. And if you ever get a chance to come, they already got the dates down. It's always, they said, the last weekend in January. And we'll be back for that because it was pretty neat.
Yep.
And now, since we got some connections, we'll probably have a lot more fun next year. People will let you see a lot more stuff.
Called Red Line Red is that new one. And then Charles wanted to know if there was any opinions of the new bikes that you've already seen.
They're basically the same bikes. I like that blue and the red.
The Smurf blue.
Yeah. I think that's kind of neat.
Different.
I mean, you'd want to get it in. I'd like to get a
Cardio.
two-tone on it. Would be pretty neat. They had this red one over here that's red and white, I think. Oh, it's red and black. The one that was up front, and there's people by it. I only got a quick shot of that. That red and black one. I think that looks kind of neat. And
The soft tail.
I don't know what it is. And so I got some really great video of that, and we'll probably be putting that up on Monday and show you the dealership here, what we did here. They had the Rider's Edge class. Tam's going to talk about her experience on Rider Edge. She took the class many moons ago. And I never really rode it. Well, she rode a bike before. I let her ride in the parking lot one time when I rented a bike. Oh, Honda. She made it without killing it. And then she drove a stick shift. So she knew how to do that. She even drove a 3 on a tree. For those of you that know what a 3 on a tree is.
And it only started in reverse.
No, you can only take the key out of it.
Well,
That's
what
what happened.
only started
She took
in
my
reverse.
Duster I had, and it was jacked up about this high. It's a long way down to the ground. And so she's on a hill. She stops, and she thought,
What happened was I killed it, and because I was on a little bit of a hill, and I got ready to go, and I killed it. So yeah, I thought you had to have it in reverse. So I put it in reverse, started up, I'm getting ready, waiting for the lights change. The light changes, bam, into a bi-state bus.
Luckily, my bumper was up so high that both bumpers hit together. She didn't really do any real damage.
I made it through the light, pulled over, and they just went on by. So that's my story.
One more thing she tore up with my stuff. She didn't probably tell me for like a couple of weeks, so I couldn't really. She probably figured if I didn't see the damage that she had done, I wouldn't say nothing. I don't think I really said a whole lot about it. Because really hadn't done any.
Then you should have told me that you can't do that.
I told
you
her
didn't
probably.
have to.
You have to put it in reverse.
Just like my car I had that didn't have a gas meter in it. You couldn't tell if it was
The
empty or
gas
not. I couldn't tell you how
That
many
was
times I ran out of gas.
before I ever dated her. She stuck a stick in the tank and dropped the stick inside
No.
the tank.
No, that was no the stupid AMC little car I had, that little brown one.
She tried to drown our daughter.
Anyway,
we
let's
had
get back to
I used
this.
to
We
sell
gotta
cars.
go.
When I used to have my garage, I sold cars and motorcycles. And so
Cat Boy 114 is calling his name.
So it's a pretty neat bike.
3 on a tree. Oh my
the
gosh.
price really hasn't gone up that much. It's only a couple $1,000s more than last year's bikes. So
good.
Some of the bikes here aren't, and that's tough. It's just like we was talking to the Las Vegas. We were over at the dealership that's on the strip talking to them. And that's what I said. What's bad about Harley-Davidson now is it's getting to the point where it's hard to come in and buy a new bike. If you're a first-time bike, the odds are you're not going to able to buy a brand new Harley-Davidson. Now here they got a lot of really great used bikes and stuff. Well, these are all 2021 stuff. Oh, that's 2010 now. And so pretty neat. So
hour and 10 minutes. 57 people on.
Anybody else talking?
Thank you.
That's all big long things.
Well, they were talking about 3 on the trees and what they have, and that's what Kevin said. He's got a Ford truck and a Chevy Bel Air, and he knows nobody will steal them because nobody knows how to drive them.
Pretty much now with a stick. You gotta watch him stealing gas. Where I bought my lot at the neighbor, somebody went over and siphoned gas out of his old Ford truck.
So Mike said 3 on a tree equals your social security number minus less 7 digits.
No. But yeah, it's sad that nowadays you don't really, because it's like, well, I wanted to buy, if I ever bought an old car, I like to get a stick shift, like maybe a 4-speed. I'd love to have a Barracuda or something. A lot of cars that I had that I sold that I never would have dreamed would have been collector's items.
Well, he found one and he really wanted it. It was down in Lake Havasu. And we talked to the guy and Bob's like, well, what is it? And he said, is it a 4-speed? And he's like, oh, no, it's an automatic. He's like, what good is that?
What do I want? I don't want no stupid automatic. It's not a car I'm going to drive every day anyway. It's going to be a car to go out and have fun with, not to cruise in. But yeah, I wouldn't give him nothing for it. It was really not a bad looking car, but I wanted to. Well, I had a chance when I was a kid. My dad wouldn't let me buy it. It was a 74 Corvette with a 427 in it, 4-speed. It was only $2,800. And I only had like $500, and my dad wouldn't give me the money to get that Corvette. I would have killed myself, but it'd have been nice to have. Then my Duster, I had a slant 6 in it. If anybody knows anything about Chrysler cars, 1970 Duster, it had a slant 6 in it. I put a 318 in it, with the 340 heads and all that on it, and 4-barrel and all that. I changed all that.
And when it got all done, the stick shift was going to be in the back seat.
Yeah, because I got a Muncie rock crusher. And so I ended up having to buy another car, about a 72, and I cut everything out, cut the floorboard out and everything. Back when I was only like 19, 20 years old. Pop riveted it in. I bondoed it all in. Didn't have a welder or nothing at that time. I actually did pretty good body work. I painted the car, touched it all up. It looked pretty nice.
It was jacked up.
Because it had that, well, I didn't know weren't a lot of people. On the old Chryslers, all you got to do is tighten up those torsion bars and it raised the front ends up. Didn't know that. A guy told me that. Yeah, I had an announcement. I don't know what they were saying.
I don't know.
So
several Snoopy nose Chevy pickups with 3 on the tree and foot starters. There's a new CVO in your future. Now, he said that's his last bike.
Unless my bike got totaled out or something like that, that would be about the only time I think. But I mean, just like nowadays, I just don't know how long I'm going to ride a bike. Where we're at now, where we live, it's because it gets so freaking hot out here. And
can't really ride.
It's not, when it's 120 degrees and you got hot air blowing on you, it's not the funnest thing to do.
We have 2 seasons. We have hot and windy. So when it's not hot, it's so windy you can hardly keep a bike up.
We have anywhere from 30 to 50 mile an hour winds here where we're at daily. That's a normal wind. So when people say like we've gotten 90 mile an hour winds, and it's just part of life. It's no big deal. But when you're out there on a motorcycle, it's a little tough when that wind blows up on you. We got a parkway and it'll blow your bike over a lane. And
well, when we went to a Laughlin River run and they had demo bikes that we could ride, and we always had either a fairing or a windshield on our bikes. I had a Sportster at that time, so the demo bikes didn't have anything on the front. And man, I'm like, I don't know how anybody, if you ride a bike and don't have a windshield, kudos to you, because that's tough.
Well, my 750 Honda never had a windshield on it. Probably if you ride a bike all the time, doesn't have a windshield on it, you would be used to that. But when you ride so long with a fairing on it, it's so much nicer. Have a windshield or a fairing. Excuse me.
There's no Cannon Run party this year. They're all done. Too bad.
And so yeah, been pretty productive week for us. Got a lot of stuff for videos to put up. Love to see how you guys like the auction, because I've probably got 4 to 5 hours worth of footage of bikes. And
That from the Mecum auction.
yeah, they had 1,750 bikes. Did we record 750 bikes? No. A lot of them I just skipped over. You know, they had like some Hondas and some Kawasaki's from 70s and stuff. And it's like, you know, that wasn't that big. Some of them I did pan through it. You might see some of that. I tried to pick out some of the Indians. If there was anything that looked kind of neat looking, there was a couple of them that had
some sidecars.
Old motorcycles that had that plate that's on the front of the bumper. Not the bumper.
The fender.
What fender? I can't think of it. Looking right at it, but I can't think of what they call it. And there was a couple of those bikes that came from overseas, and they were really neat. And I have never heard of any of these bikes. And so we're going to show you some of those. And I actually videotaped some of them. I actually videotaped the name. I didn't do it on all of them. So if I don't put the name up, don't come back and ask me what that bike was called. Because I probably didn't.
We don't know.
And I don't know if I'll do it on every bike, because I'd have to do it on every video. Every bike clip I did, I'd have to type the name in, the year and the name. So if it's kind of unique and you don't see it, some of them actually had the name on the tank, and I might just put the year down. But I don't know what I'm going to do yet. It's just I don't have a lot of time now to get a video up for tomorrow.
And then Art's coming out. He's still got to do a lot of stuff to the trailer, and then he's got to put those those slip-ons on, his slippers on.
I was making fun of that the other day. Slippers. I didn't call them that.
Making a clubhouse for people to stop by and build bikes, having some fun. When will that occur? Oh, I guess he's talking about your building, your garage.
Next year. The building's supposed, we got all the permits now. Judy. Everything's all done, ready to go. But the building's not going to slow. Well, it's supposed to be made, the building, the material for it, in August. Comes from Utah. They're suspecting it to be delivered sometime in September, is their thought, and probably start building in October of this year. So probably by the time, maybe by Christmas, I'll be in the garage. But then I still have to do, which is kind of nice because it'll be that off time again when we're here. I have to put the water in and run the electric. We're going to pay somebody to do the septic tank to put in. And so all that stuff needs to still be done. I definitely need the electric as soon as I can, because I want to put my alarms and cameras and all that stuff in there, because we're not going to be there. And then we got to put a fence up. What, like $20,000 a fence in a acre lot? Holy crap, that's a lot of money.
That's just a chain link fence. So James wanted to know those bikes at the auction. It's weird because some bikes I thought, oh, they're going to go for a lot of money. And I was like, that's not bad, $2,000 or $3,000. But the problem is you don't know if these bikes run or not. And then some of the bikes that I thought, they went for like $40,000. It's like,
I think a lot of them
depends on what somebody's looking for, I guess.
A lot of them, well, see, they said a lot of the people that buy bikes there, it's more for buying it for your collection. Actually, Harley-Davidson from Milwaukee had 2 bikes that they sold
from their museum.
Yeah. So we don't know which ones those were, but
so December, probably.
So there's a lot of, it's pretty neat. And next year, like I say, hopefully the video is going to turn out really nice and they'll like it. And but the gentleman that does the Motor Trend spokesperson, he was very impressed with us. So I think I think next year when we go back to it, I think we'll get a little bit more flexibility to maybe we can get up on the stage, because the idea of what we're doing is we're not doing live. We did a couple lives from there, but we're not filming the auction as it's going on.
We're just
so you would see it after the auction. So they may give us the leeway to wait. We can get up on the stage with them and get some shots. Stay out of the way. You can stand. The way it works is, if you've never seen an auction, they've got the big place where they drive the bike up. They got a little turnstile that it turns on, and then up against that wall, they've got the place where the people are on the internet and all that. And a lot of people said that it doesn't look like there's very many people there. Well, they said 20% of their bids come off the internet. Then they also get people to call in. They're watching the TV show and they're on a phone. So these people are all sitting behind them. And so then there's a little area there, they're up higher, that you can stand and you're not blocking the audience. And so I don't know if we'll be able to get this access, but I know we'll have a little bit more leeway. Plus now we know a little bit more, and the people know us there now. Because the lady we talked to was from corporate. And
Christine.
Because somebody came up to her and said, "What are you doing here?" And we had media passes. Like, how'd you get in here? Who gave you permission?
Well, we were actually in the auction part, and they told us that we weren't allowed to film during the auction because they have the
Which
TV show.
we were waiting for somebody we knew, and she was going to do an interview with them. So we weren't. She didn't have the camera holding towards the auction people, so she was just standing there. And then when she didn't know what the lady's name was, she said, "Was it corporate that okayed it?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's what it was." Oh, okay. Then the guy walked away.
Well, then, yeah, and then yesterday I saw the same guy, and he's like, "Oh, thank you. Here's my card. If you guys need anything, he says, you let me know." So
we must have got a hold of the right person, a corporate that called me, and we actually got her personal phone number. And that's what she told me. Anything you need, you guys need, just let me know. And so we called and left a message on Friday morning and said, we'd love to have, if we get a chance to talk to somebody today, it would be great to have them tell the history of your company. And so she never called back. Well, this guy calls, and it was this John, and he says, I'm calling you because so-and-so told me to give you a call and see if we can work something out. I'm on stage till 4 o'clock every day, so we can either do it today on Friday or do it Saturday. Well, Saturday wasn't going to work because we're heading back. So he said Friday. Well, she thought he was the auctioneer. Well, I thought somebody like that, I guess. I had no idea he had anything to do with the TV show. And so it was pretty neat. And
so anybody can bid. It cost, you have to, if you're there, it's a pass to get in, whatever it is, $30
it costs you,
and then it costs to
you can buy it costs $200. Now I don't know what it is online. We should have asked him a lot of questions. I didn't do that. But if you're there in person, you can pay $200, and that's your pass to get in, and that's your bidding pass. You also have to give them credentials of stuff. But, I don't know if it's a credit card or they got to give you your checking account number or whatever.
It's real simple. It's not like it's all drawn out process.
Because I've gone to auctions before, too, and car auctions and stuff, and we're looking to bid on some stuff at Copart for our bike giveaways.
But you don't need like an official auctioneer license to buy.
No, you don't need to be.
Anybody can bid.
Because it's not a closed out. It's
price.
Not like going to a wholesale dealer one where you need a dealer license to buy at that auction. This is open to the public. It's just like the Barrett. I just can't think of their name either. That big auction that goes around and does all the cars. That's the one I've only heard of. I never heard of this Mecum. But they say they've been in business longer than the other one, Barrett Jackson. Longer than they've been in business. But Barrett Jackson's the only one I've ever heard of. But I don't know. But I don't really go to those I've been to car auctions. We bought a car. Bought a
Zuzu Rodeo.
We bought off of an auction that they had in town.
And we traded it in just in the nick of time.
It was knocking.
I just think we were at the dealership to trade it in, and I was like, hurry, hurry, hurry. And my daughter's like, I got to go. You got to take me to work.
She didn't think it was going to make it back.
I took it to work. I came in and was like, get me there, get me there, get me there. And I pulled in, and it was like, here, give me that's when we bought the Ranger. So give me the keys to the Ranger.
The same thing with the Mustang. We bought a Mustang, which we got the whole long story. But we bought this Mustang. Was it 84 Mustang?
I don't know.
94 Mustang.
It was a black one.
I don't know. And where we got.
That was also a stick.
We got screwed on that deal.
But anyway.
But that's a whole other story. But it was a rag top, and the guy had fixed it all up with, melted plastic on it. Well, by the time we got ready to sell it in a year or two, it was pretty raggedy. So when we traded it in, I had the top down. It looked great. It was black. It's 4-speed. It had the V6 in it. It was pretty fast. And traded it in the same dealership.
That was a V8, wasn't it? The black one was a V8.
No, was it? Okay,
I think so.
I don't remember.
So Steven said Barrett Jackson's on this afternoon. They're actually in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yep.
So not too far from us, but
I'm not going.
Yeah, this
They're not
one
gonna cover cars. But they did. I thought they had motorcycle auctions all over the United States. This Mecum, but they don't. This is the only real 100% motorcycle only auction they have at the end of January every year. But they do allow, like if you had a motorcycle you want to sell down in Kissimmee, you can take, next time they're down there, you can put your bike in there and sell it. It costs you 10% of what it sells for is what you have to pay. And then if the person that buys it has to pay 10% for fees too. Now, I don't know if you've got a reserve on it, it doesn't sell. I don't know if there's any fees with that. We didn't get into all that. That's one of the things you guys need. If you want to do something like that, do it. But I couldn't believe. I wish I had my old, what year was my Honda? 84, 81?
81.
If I had my 81 750 Honda, which only had 5,000 miles on it when I sold it 20 years ago, but I probably could have gotten close to $10,000 for that bike. Honestly, I have those people paid stupid money for stuff that was just like, they were vintage bikes, but they're in nice shape. And they're not even they're antiques, because anything over 25 years is an antique, but they buy that stuff. And they even had some 3-wheelers and stuff. And some of the junk they sold well, I use this as an example. There was this BMW. I don't know if I filmed it or not. And it was like an 80s model BMW. The fairing, it was white. It was all real dingy. It looks like it had been dropped several times, all scratched up. And it looked like a piece of junk. And that I probably say does not run. And so
Where the headlight was, the wires were just hanging out of
yeah, the
it.
headlight was gone. And they push all these up on there. And this thing sold for $6,000. So they're at the end of the auction, when they go back down, there's a place where if you were the last guy to bid on it, you can go over there and they'll call and talk to the person that owned it and see if they'll lower the reserve. Or you could come to a mutual agreement. Maybe for $500 more, you could have bought the bike. And so whatever the deal was. So they would finish that deal up there for you. So I asked the guy and I said, is there any way you can hear these things run before they come in the shop? Nope. Nope, not at all. And I'm like, so this guy paid I think he paid $6,500 for this BMW. It's probably worth a couple $1,000 if it ran. So let's say it doesn't run. Say the motor's seized up in it. How much is that old BMW that's been to hell and back? It was put away wet many times. What is that piece of junk worth? And it's like they paid $6,500 for it. I'm like,
Must
man,
have been worth $6,500.
I think I'm
to
gonna
them.
go. And a lot of the bikes don't have titles. It says it comes with a bill of sale. And some of the bikes say are not roadworthy. And some of them do have stuff on it that you can put a barcode on it, like one of those, I don't know what they call those things, those square things with all those wiggly lines in it. You can run your phone over that and you get some more information on the bike. Like
Some of them you can see it running. They'll
yeah,
say you
in a
can see
video.
it run.
Yeah.
Scan this barcode.
And then there was
then
one
you
bike
can see
I
it
was
run.
at yesterday that actually the guy had a piece of paper stapled to it, like a little tablet thing. It says, if you're interested in bidding on this bike, this is my personal cell phone number. Call me. I will answer it and we'll talk about my bike. And
He would answer any questions.
And so, which is kind of nice, to where you at least get to talk to somebody and say, hey, you know, when like one of the bikes that they sold, it was actually a Vesper, and it actually said that, and I'm not going to talk about the bad one, but I mean, it said that these people parked it in a storage unit several years ago, and it ran then. Now it does not run. $4,000. There was one she talked about yesterday. She laughed at it. This is pink one on the stage from where you're sitting back at.
It was really nice.
But it was all beat up, looked like it'd been drugged behind. Let me hook the chain on it, drug it behind their truck. And this thing, what did it sell for?
Like $6,500.
50 cents I'd have given. I'd haul away for free.
Because I told him, I said, oh, there's that pink. I seen that. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, that one looks
I
pretty
did film it.
And then when it was up on stage, it's like, wow, it looks pretty nice from that.
I walked through it and filmed it. So if I find it, I'll put on there. There's the
Vesper.
There's the one that went.
Vesper.
But what's neat about it too is you can go back through the auction, and he tells you on here how you can get a printout of what every one of those bikes sold for. And they give all that information out from the day they started. And they do it for is so people can figure out what they think their bike might be worth. But you not always know that, because you might have had one stupid guy that wanted this thing so bad he could care less and he was going to pay $1 million for it. Like the one Harley that went for $250,000 plus. You know.
Well, there was a yellow Indian. It was yellow and white. Hi. Do you know us?
Yes.
There
I follow you guys all the time.
Thank you.
My cousin follows you too.
All right.
you.
Well, here, take one for your cousin too.
Cool.
Thank you.
You're
Thanks
live.
for watching. Say hi.
What do you ride?
15 Ultra.
Looking at a new one?
Maybe.
Waiting for the STs to come out?
I don't know. I'm kind of liking mine.
That's what mine's 2014 CDO, and I have no intention of selling.
I dumped a lot of money into it, making it how I want it. So
Yeah.
And they
It's
never
hard to
give-
get rid of it.
And they never give that money back.
no. So I might as well just keep it,
Yeah.
and ride the heck out.
That's right.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Love it.
Thanks for watching.
Good job,
All
guys.
right,
Thank you.
thanks.
That wasn't the same guy.
It
Another
wasn't?
guy.
Oh.
Wasn't the same guy. So we actually seen some people here. Didn't get a picture of them, but got to see them on camera.
Yep.
So we appreciate that when you guys come up and talk to us and stuff. It's always, you know, it's a lot of people don't always, and we say this all the time. A lot of people see us when we're eating and we post on here. I didn't post it when we were here, but we post where we're at, if we're eating or whatever. You can always come up to us. We're not offended, or we don't really. Only time I always say something, which I've never had has ever happened. If you see me holding, which you never see from your side. Well, if you watched a video the other day, one of the videos that are out there from Prime Cut Pro shows me and Tam doing a closing at
Broken Spoke.
Broken Spoke. So normally you'll see this fine guy in front of our face, and if you see this, we're talking on camera. that's the only time I'd say don't interrupt me, because I'm probably in my spiel and when we're ending up or whatever. But other than that, if it's
She's in the zone.
yeah, usually if we're just carrying it around, we're not. And if you see us talking to somebody, 99.9% it's another subscriber, and the 0.1% it's a vendor, and or one of the girls she's talking to. But I mean, you can always talk to the girls too when she's talking to them and stuff, and be pretty neat. So hopefully we're gonna have some good information coming up on the Bullhead River Run. We're supposed to meet with Larry. We thought maybe tomorrow. We were going to try to get his girls. They want to do a commercial for the being bartenders. But so far we haven't heard anything back from him, so I don't think it's going to happen. So Art might have to do that during the rally, but I won't get it edited before that. So pretty good. I don't know if Art wants to try to edit. I can leave a computer and he can try to edit. And Art take his computer, and because I've had two computers logged in at the same time, so he could probably download it and he could try to edit. No.
All right, hour and a half.
Hour and a half. We got to get a guy to start this motorcycle back. I want him to hear with the mufflers, slip-ons that I'm going to be putting on my bike.
One says you're like his wife. You're just nothing but a big tease. You won't tell him about Buc-ee's. You won't tell him about your pipes.
That's why you got to keep watching.
Just to keep them saying hi.
We want you guys to keep coming back. If I told you, you'd say, "Oh, I don't watch that video." You already told me what he got. And Buc-ee's is why we want to do it there, is because I want to make sure they see it. So they need to fix this problem that they have. It's the stupidest. When I tell you what it is, you're going to say, why would they do this? That's what I said. And she spent 3 or 4 days on the phone trying to straighten this crap out. And it's the most insane thing in the world. When I tell you that,
So Mike's going to start it for you.
You only got a couple weeks. Okay, so here we go. This is the mufflers I'm getting ready to put on my bike. It's empty anyway.
Yeah, that's good. There you go.
All right. So how do you think they sound? And what I like about them is they got a really great low tone to them. See, I thought they were way too expensive. They're like $700 for a pair. And they gave us 10% off. And they thought the guy that actually is in the video thought he'd give us a better deal. But we run into this every once in a while with vendors that they make money because they sell stuff at the regular price. So, and it is what it is. And we've never got anything really for free. We've gotten some deals on stuff, but we do pay for everything. We pay something for everything.
Every once in a while we get a free meal from Uncle Louie.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes like that. And we've had, Rick took us out to dinner before. And so we have had.
Something about Virginia Beach.
Who's talking? I don't know who's talking. Everybody's got their mask on, so I can't see who's talking. But I don't see anybody holding a microphone or nothing. That was that guy standing over there. Maybe. I don't know. I can't really tell. March, going to Virginia, I would think they were going to Myrtle Beach. Not Myrtle Beach, but Daytona's in March. So I don't know what they're saying.
I don't know.
But I mean, they do a lot of stuff here. The dealership here does a lot of events here constantly. And that's kind of what I kind of miss by having a dealership that's close to us.
Yeah.
When we used to be in California, that's how we got to ride so much. Was because our hog group we had a hog group that branched off from another store, and they opened up a satellite store, which still had sold bikes and all that. But their one rule was to ride.
Their mission. That was their mission statement. Have fun and ride.
Yeah.
That's all they did.
No politics, no nothing. And it was the best, probably 3 years. That's how we met Art. Yep. And best 3 years of riding. I had him, and we've met some great people there to ride with. We're still friends with a lot of those. And a lot of them went back to the other dealership, but other dealership wasn't
the same.
It
Same
wasn't,
group of people.
Well, you get all that politics stuff. Not really politics. Yeah.
There was like a lot of cliquey stuff, and the one in
somebody's talking bad about somebody.
The one in Corona it's like, we're going to do a ride. Kickstands up at this time. You get there, you ride.
But, they ended up closing that dealership up and went back to just having their main one, and that was it. And now that guy sold it a couple years ago. So we do belong to the hog group in Kingman, but we really haven't done anything with them other than go to a couple meetings. But we like to try to belong to the hog groups just to That way we have some access to some of the hog groups by being a member. But I mean, it's great. If you've got a Harley, it's not a bad idea to be involved with groups like that, because it gives you people to ride with, also gives you a group, and some places will give you a lot of discounts. Like if you go to, like we got a friend that went to Hawaii, they called the hog group over there, and they got it all set up that they took them out on all these great rides while they were over
In
there.
Hawaii. They rented a bike, and then the hog group took them on all these rides. It's
So
kind of cool.
that's what's nice about, hog groups.
And
You
there's
get a hold
Skippy
of somebody.
Jones.
Yep, Skippy made it today. We don't see him that often.
No,
He hasn't been on a lot. He must be busy.
late as usual, he says.
He must be busy lately.
No
Doing a lot of-
politics. Yeah.
We try to stay away from that, and we're not talking so much about masks and all that kind of stuff. There's enough of that out here on the internet. All this crazy stuff that's going on. We don't want to talk about the virus and all that kind of
That's
stuff.
what we kind of base our channel on, I guess. Ride and have fun.
And show you good stuff. And what our channel is all about is things that we've done or things that we didn't do. And it's like when we first went to Sturgis, we had no idea what to do. We seen the Full Throttle show and that was it. Didn't know much about rides or anything else. And I Googled that stuff. They all have all these pages up. Daytona's got a page, and Sturgis has got a page the city puts out, or the community, or the promoter, or whatever. But not everything is on there. And there's so much stuff. Hey, Sturgis is like that. Every time we go to Sturgis, we find another place to find.
Another place to go, another place to eat. You guys tell us places to go and eat, and it's just like word of mouth.
Yeah.
And we can keep everybody informed. And
and that always is because it's like Neil. He recommended that steakhouse over there, and now we've ate there and wasn't that impressed with it. But we've only ate there once, so you can't. So yeah, what you can be, you can go someplace and have a bad meal and or a bad experience, a bad waiter, or whatever it might be. So it's like going to a dealership. That's why we always tell you, if you go to one of the dealerships that we do shout outs for, and if you have a problem, you let us know. We'll call them up and find out, because the problem you run into with all this today is you got so many employees, and there's so many people that don't want to take the initiative to make a decision, and they don't want to go ask the boss to find out. Like we had somebody that came to a dealership that was traveling through, wanted to buy a $500 leather jacket. This is like 5-10 years ago. So premium price. He threw down his hog card from a different dealership that he was traveling from, and they said, sorry, no discount. And so the guy didn't buy the jacket. So almost every dealership I go in, I ask them what they would have done in a situation like that. And most of them said, well, my answer is how many. So let's say you gave him 10%, that'd have been $50. So you still would have got $450 out of that jacket. Okay. How many t-shirts do you have to sell to make up the money that you would have made on that jacket? Now, see, I'm always the opposite. The way you sell something is not to lower your price. I'll give you $50 worth of merchandise in the store. Well, merchandise, not parts, clothing or stickers or whatever you want to buy. The odds are you're going to spend more than $50. So then now I make money on that. So in the long run, I might have only lost 10 or 20% of my profit. So it's like when I tell that to dealers, they're like, yeah, you're right. Well, see, the problem is there's these people that work here in all the places that don't want to stand up and say, hey, it used to be, for all you young people that are watching our channel, it used to be the customer was always right. I don't know. I don't think anybody even knows what that saying is today in the retail market. And I always agree, not everybody is 100%. That's why if you've got a problem with a dealership or one of our vendors, we're a mediator. We've owned our own business and we've dealt with people. Some people you just can't satisfy. But everybody that we've dealt with on our channel that's had any kind of issues, which have been very small issues, have been things that we've contacted the dealer or whatever the situation is, and they rectify it, or they have a compromise. And in all the cases that one was a dealer, we didn't even had no sticks in the game. It was one of you contacted us about a bad experience they had at a Harley dealer. And so we called them, talked to the general manager. He couldn't believe that we even were talking to him. What we had in the game, what are you guys getting out of this? I said, nothing. What am I going to get out of it? I'm trying to satisfy a
subscriber.
That's right. That's my goal.
Trying to take care of you guys.
And so after we actually got friends with this guy, GM of this dealership up north. And maybe when we go to Laconia, we might be able to track him down. But he told us red carpet treatment anytime we want to come back. And he made the people an exceptional compromise for it. Did they take it? We don't know the whole deal after that, because we made that, we got the information, passed it off to them, and then they can do whatever they wanted. But in my case, that's what he said. What do you think? I said, you went up and beyond to take care of the issue. I'm 100% satisfied. I have no problems with you.
So Charlie from New Hampshire, we're pretty sure we're going to be in Laconia this year.
Yeah.
So Art's on. He said he's a lifetime member of the Hog Group.
Yep.
And Skippy says he's been hibernating because it's only been 10 degrees out there, and he's been out plowing snow. Jeffrey wanted to know whatever happened to Michael Ballard from the Full Throttle Saloon.
He's still
owns
there.
it.
He's been talking about, which he's a hard guy to talk to or to get a hold of. He actually talked to us a lot more last year, but he never would go on camera. He's wanting to do a pay-per-view from the bar live.
Germany's on.
And I have no idea how. See, the problem with things like that is you've got to use the internet now. Well, when you get 500,000 people, a million people in an area, everybody's on their phones, the internet goes to crap in a handbag. Sometimes your phone will work one day and it won't work the next day. And so how they can do the Buffalo Chip try to do it on their concerts, but concerts are a little different because they can hardwire stuff in. They got the cameras. It's just like doing any concert. You know, you got everything hardwired in. But if it's like for us to do a live, which you've seen, some of our lives have gotten really crappy looking. Well, Michael Balance is going to do the same thing. So he wanted to do it last year and he couldn't get it going. I think he wanted to do it because of the Buffalo Chip did their deal. For $1.99, you could watch their anything that was on the stage, concerts, the beauty contest, all that stuff. I don't know if it was worth the while for what he had to pay the people to do it. He won't give you that information even if I asked, and I'm not going to ask. We're going to make him an offer next year to do something for him and see if he wants to take it up on us. Because we just don't know with what we do is, it's just like after we do Sturgis this year, and even Daytona this year, is there really anything else for us to show you that's going to be different from the year before? And people say that. When you go to these rallies, do you see anything different? Not really. They all, Tropical Willie's is going to have his normal chopper show, and the one that's down on the boardwalk is going to be the same show. It's going to have different bikes in it, but it's the same show, same day of the week it's going to be on. They're going to have the mud wrestle or the stall wrestling, and they're going to have the pudding wrestling and all the stuff. It's always the same stuff. And you have some different bands come in, but it's pretty much the same event. Sturgis is kind of the same thing. Sturgis, the only difference is there's so much other stuff. All the little towns around Sturgis, Deadwood, Hill City, Custer's, Hewlett, all those places jump on board on the rallies and make their areas dedicated for motorcycles. Smart move for all those little cities. They're not investing any money, and they're bringing in a lot of money to their businesses and to the cities, their towns. And Rapid City makes a lot of money from the taxes and stuff that come in. So that's where the difference. I look at Sturgis, but I think after we do Sturgis this year, after we spend a month there, we're probably going to cover pretty much everything that's been covered. And this year, we're going to try to do a lot better on the videotaping that we can use the videos later on. Because if I show you Iron Mountain Ride, we ride it almost every year we go. It's the same ride all the time. You're going to see something different because you can't really, but I mean, it's still the same road. They didn't tear the road up and reroute it. You go through Spearfish Canyon and it's the same water running down the road. Well, not the same water. It's the same gully where the water's running. The water's kind of cycling through. But I mean, you're not really seeing, they put new guardrails in last year. But I mean, other than that.
I was going to Deadwood.
Yeah, but Spearfish had the tornado that one year. You can go down there and see the trees. A lot of them are still laying there.
Yeah.
And if you know where to look, you can see that. So, but I mean, a lot of it is the same thing. Well, what we see with you guys, and when we talk to people, a lot of people go to rallies for the experience of it. And see, that's what I always emphasize. If you're going to Sturgis to go see the concerts and that's all you're doing, why don't you just come fly in here to Las Vegas or fly into LA and go do your concerts? To me, I like the local bands a lot better. I like the tribute bands, things like that. It's not so crowded. It's not so many people. It's not like Kid Rock with 120,000 people. 20,000 of your closest friends you're huddled up against, and you got to spend 3 hours to get food. That's just insane. But if you go to...
Don't try to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. If you want to go to, Broken Spoke here now at Daytona, they'll probably have Hairball, which is a tribute band. They dress all up and stuff. It's really neat. If you've never seen them, they do it in Sturgis too. And there you don't have to wait very long to get in the bathrooms. You can get food in a reasonable amount of time. It's not, you know, if you wait till in the middle of the concert, you're gonna have a tough time finding a parking spot. Because all along Daytona there, it gets pretty busy. Iron Horse, once it gets dark, you're not gonna find a place to park in there. And but yeah, all those places, but they're all basically the same. And so we're looking to maybe go in 2023, change this up a little bit and do something a little, still be doing bike stuff, but maybe do something more seclusively, maybe with the Buffalo Chip. Do something where we stay on their property the whole time. Because that's the one thing this year. We've been to the Buffalo Chip. Never stayed there, never was in their campground until this time. I had no idea what goes on at the Buffalo Chip. Not got nothing to do with nudity or dirty bathrooms or dust or anything. Just the events that they have. That is like, it is its own rally by itself. You could go there and experience everything that you would experience anywhere else you would go. And that's why I talk so much about that, because I think the majority, unless you've stayed at the Buffalo Chip and experienced that, it's just like us. That's what killed me this 2021 was I didn't want to leave the Buffalo Chip. But we had to do this and we had to do this. So we're like, okay, we want to be on the road by 8 o'clock. Oh, crap, they're doing this now. So I'd be over there filming that. And she's like, you got to get going. We got to go there. And so I never got to, I missed a lot of stuff. They have at least 10 bike shows on the property. You do not have to pay to see the bike shows. They're free. So
there's the bike museum. We didn't even get to go see the museum. We never got the chance. It was only open a certain amount of time. Yeah.
Too many days, not enough days to do all the stuff. That's like the rallies that they have in Florida. In Myrtle Beach, they do the fall rallies. Same thing with them. You have a rally that's only 3 or 4 days long, it's not enough time. Bike Blues and Barbecue. It sucked because there wasn't enough time. It was a really neat event, and I'd like to go back and do Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue in a future date, which we will do, and spend possibly a couple weeks there. But we had a rally right before it and a rally right after it. So we couldn't get there any earlier. And so we missed a lot of stuff that was going on. And now since they've got, which it's possible if they don't have Las Vegas, we may go down there. But we have to find somebody that'll put us up. And that's the thing we're looking now for rallies, is trying to find some of you that have some property that we, maybe got 110 or something we can plug into. We'd be happy to give you some kind of compensation for it. Some of the people we've stayed that's let us stay on the property, they actually have had a 30 amp or a 50 amp plug in. Some's got sewer hookups for us. Some's got water. That's great. That's our biggest expense next to gas is the price we paid. Last year in Daytona for spring rally, we paid $1,550 for the campground, just during the rally, not counting before and after. It's just some of the places that we have to go it's just Sturgis last year. We paid $1,500. I think it was $1,500 to stay at the Buffalo Gym. Yeah. We got no break last year. None at all. We got 3 weeks before the rally to stay for free, but we had to pay for the rally. So
even when I figured up if we stayed that whole 5 weeks, so we stayed 3 weeks before and a week after, and we were there for the week of the rally. Even when I divided that up into the 1,500, it was still like close to, I don't remember. It was like $80 a night or something.
So yeah, it really wasn't that great of a deal. But now this year they offered us to come back, and they would have probably set us up for free. And but the Kathmandu was very
accommodating.
Well, what happened with Kathmandu was we were there the year before in 2020, and we filmed it all, and he really liked us. We talked to him and stuff. We had stayed there before, but not with him. He was the new owner. And he's like, you guys are more than welcome to come back next year. I'd love to have you guys come back. Well, we announced right before the rally was, after the rally was over, we announced we were staying at the Buffalo Chip. And he watches our videos. He might even be on here now. He watched our videos, and when she called
to find out how much room they had left, or if they had any camping left, he's like, I see you guys are staying at the Buffalo Chip. Call me next year before you book someplace.
So we did. Before we did anything else, we went over there the last day of the rally or the day after the rally and said, hey, what do you want to do? And so he gave us a great offer. We paid a little bit, but it was worth it to be there. And maybe next time, but I would like to do the Buffalo Chip maybe next year if I decide to go this route. And it depends a lot on Rod, if he will do what I want to do or give us the access we want. We don't want him to pay us or anything. That might be something farther down the road. But then a lot of our vendors won't be able to get the shout outs that we do and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. It's a lot of stuff is up in the air, and a lot depends on you guys and your friends and more subscribers.
I don't know what that is.
If it got to be, we get 50,000 subscribers and my videos go crazy, you know, we have do lives, we got 300 or 400 people on at a time, then yeah, we'll keep doing what we're doing. We won't change it. What are you looking at?
It says there's a human bomb still blow up at the rallies. I don't know what that is. I never heard of that.
I don't know.
Ken's on, and Mike said that the bathrooms really weren't that crowded at the Buffalo Chip.
Yeah, so we didn't have any trouble either. Now, we went up there and took showers. We liked, even though we got our RV, we take a shower in the shower house, unless it's really late and we're just tired and we'll take one in the shower. Because there you didn't have a dump. You had to go and dump the trailer. So we want to try to go the whole week without dragging the trailer over. Well, I did take the Blue Boy along, but just one more thing to do. So we went up to shower. We never had to wait to take a shower.
No.
We were able to walk it down. We always take our showers the night before.
In the evening.
Yeah. So what we do is when we're done going up there, we'll go up there at 9 or 10 o'clock, take our shower, and we go to bed. So we're not fighting that morning crowd. And that's anywhere we go. We've never had trouble getting in and out of showers or a bathroom or anything like that. So we didn't have any trouble. And to us, the bathrooms you couldn't eat off the floor, but I'm not going to eat off of any floor. But Kathmandu, for instance, in 2020, their bathrooms were 100 times better than any bathrooms we've ever seen at a rally. But could have been because of the pandemic. They had people there, they had girls. They cleaned the bathroom after you left, constantly cleaning the showers. They were sanitizing them, wiping them all down. So you smelled when you walked in, you could smell the bleach and all that.
And that was at the height of the pandemic.
So I don't know how 2021 was, but when we stayed there years ago, we were happy with them. And the Buffalo Chip, they needed some paint in the bathroom. Definitely. Paint had been peeling off the walls. The showers, the paint had peeled off the floor. Well, they made some pallets out of that fencing wood that's not really wood, looks like wood. And they made a bunch of pallets where you stood on them and the water ran through them. That was pretty nice. And I was happy. I'm more happy with that than on the floor. But we wear our little shoes, the water shoes in there, and take our showers. So, you know, we didn't have any trouble. We had plenty of hot water. You have to learn what shower to go in. In some showers, the water didn't come out as hard as you did another shower. So once you kind of figured out what your favorite shower was, then you always went in and got your shower. And some of them were a little bigger than others. You know, some of them you had to kind of lean against the wall or
well, some of them you could lean against the wall because it's just hanging like by a thing. It's like you couldn't push on it.
So I always took a shower at the end so I could lean against the wall. Wash my feet.
So Paulie P said that there was a rally in Texas today. I don't know which one that is. And now he wanted to know if the Harley thinks he'd get rid of the MB 2023-24. I don't know what the MB is. Charlie's got some pineapples up there. I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know. Maybe he's trying to go back to the Monkey Man where we got him going that one time about pineapples at Glencoe.
Last year we stayed at Buffalo Chip. This year, 2022, we're staying at Kathmandu.
And the next year we don't know yet. A lot depends on you guys. It also depends on future subscribers, things like that. Also depends on, we also got offered to go out to Shade Valley, said they would work out with us something to get us out there. So we have other options that people are starting. That's what's nice about Sturgis. There's a lot of these campgrounds out there. And when they see our channel and they hear people just like when we're giving this $800 special on, which is their normal price. And for a cabin that we just did yesterday, that you guys go back and look at it before they sell out. But you get a cabin for $800 for 10 days at Raleigh. And that's unheard of in Sturgis.
They were talking about the electric motorcycles, and they said we all have to have one by 3030. They said maybe the older bikes will be grandfathered in.
Well, in California here, you can't even have a lawnmower or weed whacker or anything that's gasoline, no generators, nothing. And I think that starts next year.
Oh, Myrtle Beach. MB is Myrtle Beach.
Oh.
So what was the question about MB?
Is it about the Harley dealer?
When will you think Harley will get rid of the Myrtle Beach? Oh, 23, 24. I don't know. Myrtle Beach, the city doesn't like it, but I think if they put it all down there at Merle's Inlet,
see, what we hear, which we haven't checked into it for this year yet, we heard that they were going to move, what's that called down there where the big
Merle's
trucks are?
Inlet.
No, not Merle's Inlet, where the big trucks are next to the campground we stayed at.
Oh, Barefoot Landing.
Barefoot Landing, they're going to move it. We heard that when we left last year, that they're going to move it down to Ormond Beach between the dealership there where their vendors are at and Merle's Inlet, which would be excellent. So we don't know if that happened yet or not, but I don't know if because now the guy that we deal with in Panama City, which I thought it was their son, but now I guess that Chase is actually one of the owners now of the promotion company.
Well, see, I don't know. I might have this all wrong, but I thought it was Chase's mom that took care of Panama City. And then I think they said it was Chase last year took care of it. That kind of got messed up, and then they said no, it was somebody else. But now I guess Chase is back.
And Chase is one of the owners of the rally now. So which is kind of neat. It's the guy we know, young guy, and young to us, and but we never have asked him for anything, but he always told us, let me know if there's something we could help with you. And so it's and that makes a lot of difference. It's like the Galveston didn't go quite like we wanted to go with Galveston, but that's ran. Well, I thought she was co-owners of it, but she said after she talked to a few people, she's actually the one that's in charge. It's her rally, and the other guy is just an investor, I guess. So we're going to talk to her here in Daytona and see if we can kind of get that all ironed out and get that straightened out. We're going to give you a lot better coverage of Galveston for this next year, because that may be our last year in Galveston too. But we're not going back to any of the fall rallies next year
on
in
the
East Coast. It just isn't. It doesn't justify it. They're small
because they're so short.
And there's just and it's why go to a rally that's half the size that it was. If you want to go and just like we did the very first year we went to the fall rallies, and it was great because it gave us an idea of where things were at. We could see where things were at. We could make connections. You could talk to people. But to go to the spring rally, it's like going to Sturgis to some of these rallies. Going to a weekend, a show they're having out here in front of the dealership. So, but I mean, a lot of people like to go to the fall ones, and that's fine. But we can't justify it anymore. One, people don't watch it. It's very expensive. And a lot of these places, like in Panama City, we're stuck paying for campground again. There, we're paying about $1,000, I think, for that campground for the week we're there. There just isn't a whole lot of stay anywhere near Panama City Beach because that's a tourist area all down there. So we're in that tourist area,
and we have a lot of camping clubs, but there's nothing in that area, nothing close.
So we have things that we can stay at in different areas, like in Rapid City. The 2 weeks before the rally, we're hoping to get into our camping club, but we're having trouble getting into it, and they're changing dates on us and stuff. So we're trying to iron that all out.
We're glad we didn't get towed at Galveston. And I guess it wasn't MB, it was M8. They were talking about the electric motorcycle. My bad. Even with my glasses
on, the motorcycles.
Like
so Harley-Davidson is out of the electric motorcycles, but what they've done is it's a division of Harley-Davidson that they've now. If you watched our video on the International Bike Show, I am International Motorcycle IMS show that we did back in October.
No, November.
We've been home. November. We went down there. You actually seen the live wire. They actually have it. There's no Harley emblems at all on it, but they're going freestanding now. We're being told that 2 or 3 or 4 dealers in California will still be able to carry the live wires, but all the other Harley dealers are no longer can order them. And Harley has taken that into its own thing, and they're trying to build electric division. Oh, I had something funny yesterday, and I didn't post this. I should have saved the picture. I used to work for a utility company. I used to work for SoCal Gas in California. And somebody posted it yesterday that they were at this business installing a new gas meter. Who was it? I won't tease you on this one. Who was it? Tesla. So there's Tesla. Got to use natural gas to keep their butts warm. What happened to that all electric? Should have some solar panels on the roof. But no, they're using natural gas to heat their building. So what's that tell you?
He said that in freezing cold, the batteries won't start those electric cars in the winter. Ken says he prefers the pre-rally videos over the regular ones because there's all girls in them.
There's no girls in it?
No, there's all girls in most of the
pre-rally?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Most of the waitresses and stuff aren't there until after the rally. I don't know. But we're more laid back during the pre-rally stuff because there's not a lot of pressure as what we have is during the rally. Because everything's starting then. There's so much stuff going on, so we're trying to, get to all those places where pre-rallies, we're trying to make just connections. So unless we have an appointment with somebody, which we do, like the 23rd, we got an appointment. We got one on the 22nd already. So we've got some appointments set up that we know we're doing. We're going to be with Rat Fink and St. Augustine's for so many days there. So we know things that we're committed to do. We can still meet people during that time, but we're going to be tied up during some of that time with committed stuff. Like we do on a rally. I'll be at Willie's Tropical Tattoo Bike Show for a while. And for sure, I will definitely be there. Unless he cancels it, which he's not. We're going to put the flyer up. But
So the big rally that's in Texas is not a motorcycle rally. It's a political rally. There's a lot of truckers and bikers there, he says.
See what's going on? Do we have any Canadian people on?
We have Dietrich on. He was from Germany. He was on.
Because Canadians are right now. I thought they were pulling semi-trailers, but it's just the truckers have unhooked and they're just driving the rigs. I can't believe. I guess there's some crazy stuff going on up there in Canada too, and so yeah, there's the truckers are standing up saying, "Make it
adios, their prime minister."
Yeah, and I think the truckers ain't gonna work until they do, and they're already screwed anyway in Canada, and now you got no truck, nobody to bring your food and stuff to you. They need to adios that guy, adios pretty quick. And it's like, we could get like that here in the United States too. So
2 hours.
Don't let people take advantage of you. Stand up for your rights. It's America.
Right.
A lot of people died for our freedom. We salute all those that have been in the military, and no matter what you did in the military, if you stood up and enlisted and stayed in for your term, hats off to you, and we honor all of you. Thank you.
50,000 truckers are at the rally. USA truckers are joining.
There you go. Just bringing it in, and it is. It's that's what it takes. It's just like 9/11 after that happened. America came together, and it's sad that it takes stuff like that for people to put down, their hatred and we're all allowed. We're Americans. We have a right to speak our opinion. You're
allowed to have an opinion.
Yeah, and and everybody should have. And just because you voted one way, I'm okay with that. Or if you voted another way, I'm okay with that too.
That's your right.
And if you like this guy and I like this guy, that should be all right too. And you should be able to discuss that with people. And that's the way it used to be. And it's sad that it's not. I grew up and it used to be like that. And it's hopefully there'll be a time when we'll get back to that. We hope. So with that, we're going to go ahead and leave you because we've been on way too long. I wanted to do about an hour here. And we'll end you up here, right here in Las Vegas at
Red Rock Harley-Davidson. So thanks for coming along today. We hope you got a lot out of this video. Saw some of the new bikes. They're all not here yet, the STs. Hopefully next week we'll get that.
We're coming back?
Next week?
Me and Art. She's going to stay back and pack the training.
I have to stay home sometime and we'll never get out of here. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Go ahead.
I don't want to wear the same clothes I wore last time. We only have like 12 shirts, so you see the same shirts after a while all the time.
Yeah, because we're going to be gone for 8 months.
I got a bunch of these shirts. I'm going to wear these probably a lot now. So she's got hers. I ordered her some new ones. So you can order shirts down there. If you're on YouTube, you can go down there and order shirts, and you can say, hey, look, Bob, I got one of your shirts.
Thanks, Steven. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends. Give us a big thumbs up. Think about Patreon. Ring that bell for notifications, and we'll see you on the next video.
I want to thank all the Pating
Nation
for staying to the bitter end because you are our loyal, supporting fans, and we appreciate all of you.
Oh, there's a Canadian following. Walter's up there. Mike says nothing to do with hockey. So thank you, Charlie. Thanks for staying on. There's Kenny. He says Pating Ping. Bye, guys. Skippy. Ducati BMW tour.
But yeah, I show you all the Ducatis we've seen there.
I don't know who this guy is. He's been on quite a bit on this one. Kutti?
Cuddy, Chad. I don't know.
So I don't know where you're from, but thanks for joining us today. Ken says, don't forget to hit the like button before you leave. Roy says, I know. That just means we get an hour longer tonight. No, I don't know. Take care. All righty. Oh, and there's Dawn. She made
Dawn's in the house. There's Cancun.
Yep, Jeff's down in Cancun.
That's one of my favorite places to vacation. We haven't been there in a long time.
No.
72 degrees. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be that today. When we get home, it's supposed to be 72.
So.
Not a little cold to swim down there, though.
Yeah, it is.
So with that, I guess we're done.
Yep.
We answered all of our questions. We appreciate all of you. Appreciate the 52 that came in here at the end. And we'll see you all. We got a bunch of good videos coming out from the dealership here. And we're going to have the dyno guy. It's going to give us a bunch of input about him. I think he does a lot of racing stuff. So we're going to look at that. We also got a really great guy. If you've seen back here when I was thumbing through, there's a mechanic here that actually raced that bike that's out there. He still races it. And we're going to get to do an interview with him. And we're going to do a grand tour of the dealership here. And hopefully they'll have the new bikes in. But that probably won't come out to the following week because they're thinking maybe Friday will come out next Friday and do our videos and all that. And hopefully Art will be with me. And Art can help me do it. And Tam will stay back at the house. And I don't know if we'll ride motorcycles or not. Depends on what kind of equipment I need to bring. I might just come out in the family truckster. We have a family truckster.
Yeah, we do.
So with that, we're going to leave you right here. And is it sunny outside? Yes. sunny Las Vegas.
Bye. Thanks for coming along.